Mind's been floating a million miles.
That song sucked. I was gonna actually let it keep going for a moment and maybe eat some pudding, or I'm sorry, yogurt. I don't really do pudding, and let some more people gather. Thing is, it's pretty low right now. Yeah, there's only a few of us here. This is pretty exclusive at the moment, shall we say. I don't know who was here like first, but fucking Karina was here a while ago. I've got some coconut yogurt coconut milk yogurt, and exactly premarital, raspberry powder, and some brown rice protein isolate just to spike it with a little bit of protein so I can help meet some of my macros, as it were. Coughs like a moron. Well, it is. Well, let's see. It's a night show. Do you just want to turn this into a fucking panel thing? Only high-ranking Antifa members get to hear this dumb shit. Exactly. So yeah, like if you just want to turn it into a fucking clusterfuck of a panel thing, feel free. Premarital, I still have never heard from you. I have never heard your voice. One of these days, I'm going to drag you into voice chat. Not even on air. I just want to talk to you, just so I can hear your voice once and for all. But yeah, so I suspected the protein powder may make this not quite as enjoyable as it normally is, but you know, calories are calories, and you get shit. You know, gotta eat. I didn't hit my protein macro. Sorry. How's everybody doing? Y'all doing okay? Fucking Middle East keeps, fair enough. So the Middle East is on fire again. This is like the 97 millionth time in my lifetime. So it looks like some Israelis are dead. A bunch of Palestinians are dead. Honestly, it just, by the time, you know, you spend a few decades on this planet, it's like the school shootings as an American. You start to get numb to it in a way. It's fucked up, but it's the truth. How do you join Juche Gang? Something lobotomy. There you go. Hey, Fertus. Got a long-ass workout and most of a shifting casting. I'm sore, but glad my day's done. Well, I'm glad you got a good workout in, Karina. And I hope the casting was productive. Yeah. And, hey there, you French bastard. Oh, I know Fertus well. Feel free to join me on air when you, if and when you want, Fertus. So many atriarchs. And I'm going to nod like I know what that is while I look up what an atriarch is. And quickly looking them up. Oh, yes, I completely am familiar with these characters. Yes. I for sure didn't just look that up on my top monitor. Not at all. Yeah, totally knew what they were. Let's see. Premarital, doing all right. I tried to infiltrate a right-wing gamer channel. Apparently, I did a good job because I got to give sub after I left. Fucking A. Oh, God. And here's your Cerebral Asylum. Oh. Jesus Christ. They always want to talk about their IQ and shit like that, don't they? Well, good job. Good job, Premarital. I don't know. Were you on something, Skeptic? Was it inebriated? What was that? If I got paid based off product sales, they would be a fat paycheck for me. Every run makes on average 8 atriarchs versus the average 3 to 2 models per casting run. I'm gonna continue nodding. I'm for sure. Yep. Yep. Let's see. Oh, and apparently Israel rejected a truce from Hamas. Apparently Netanyahu's trying to hold off forming a government so a new set of elections can be cast as a result of this shit fuckery. So this is essentially just people dying to literally further the goal of a lifelong politician to hang on to a little bit of power for a little bit longer. That's From what I understand, that's literally what's happening right now. I always found it how athleticism and military service are the two careers that are normal to brag about decades and decades after you quit. I suppose it has something to do with levels of achievement. Yeah. I understand, skeptic. It's all Biden's fault. When Trump was the leader of the world, everything was fine. Yeah, that's I understand it. Yeah, that's exactly how things were. Yeah, I've been living under a rock for the last 20 or so years. So really, I have no point of reference. It's not like I lived through the Trump administration or the Obama administration or the Bush administration or the Clinton administration. Or the Bush administration. Or the Reagan administration. Yes, you do, Amorous. Yes, you do. Well, that sounds honorable or something like that. Something, social credit. Good of mankind, future generations, children are our future. You're a better man than I. Something like that for Zeus. But good on you for doing it. Good on you for doing it. I have no point of reference, like someone who gets their news only through 4chan. Fuck yeah. Kaya's in a bit of a sassy mood tonight. Yeah, I kind of am. I'm sick of people killing each other. And I'm sick of it in a way that, like, emotionally, I'm not there for it. Be perfectly honest. I'm just sort of detached. It's probably just a survival coping mechanism. It's not new. This is far from the first time I've felt this way in my life. It's not even probably the 1000th time I've felt this way in my life. But yeah, this usually happens when, there's a resurgence of some fighting somewhere in the world, and I just sort of like, what do you want? People are fucking stupid. We kill each other over fucking just the stupidest of reasons. We're children. Our species is that of children. What do you expect? We're immature. Right now, over some infertile dirt in the desert for some reason. Well, caboose is because that infertile dirt in the desert is magic. You better believe I'm going to link them the French Video Game Worker Union website. Oh, good. Good for Toos. People could at least kill each other for good causes like thighs versus ass or subs versus dubs. Subs. And I'm up in the air on the thighs versus asses for you premarital, but subs 100%. Okay. Oh yeah, this is solid. Like I know some of these statistics. I didn't see this particular thread, but I can imagine how this would piss off tankies. China is Israel's third largest trading partner. China is Israel's second export destination. China is Israel's second biggest collaborator with high-tech military tech as well. China is set to overtake the U.S. as Israel's largest investor. Israel is China's second largest arms supplier. Yes. It's almost like China is more than willing to do a colonialism. Wow. I'm dyslexic, so I've always tried to keep up with subs. Okay. I allow it. Yeah, I get that. Fucking, I understand that, Caboose. I just, look, there are some dubs that are done very well, but they are few and far between. The script is written in another language. It doesn't carry, you need to have native speakers and really good translators to do the work and that sort of thing. So, yeah, there are some dubs that are good, but baseline, I think the default is subtitles are better, with exceptions. Amorous, I thought subs versus dubs was some weird sex thing. Magic is the excuse of kings for war and war for power. There've been more than a few kings who have believed in magic too. Wither, don't fool yourself on that one. Comments were like, no sales since 2001. The man responded back to the comments, and they even get more pissed. Let's see. Let's look at some of these. Yeah, there are a couple of funny ones here. Oh, yeah, there's some bitter takes in there. I like it. I'm there for it. It's not colonialism. They're actually funding Palestinian elements inside the Israeli government. Israel is very popular. The world's powers, apparently. Wither. Young Wither. Yeah, it's a whole fucking thing. If that's what we're talking about, a total subsist boost. Yeah, it is fair for twos. Hey, Sunshine. The acting is usually better unless it's anime protag bag acting, which, well, I'll switch to dub just to avoid. That is fair, premarital. Is this the Hummer? Is this the fucking H2 or whatever? Yes. Yes. I saw this for twos. I gotta say, I was more than pleased with that. So here's a lesson for you children. It's the fumes that are the are the most flammable part. Yes, the liquid fuel is flammable, but it's the fumes that go whoosh. And generally, if you're in a contained area with those fumes, it's best not to light up a cigarette in that contained area, or else maybe your Hummer goes whoosh. Fucking idiots. Swear to God. Hey, Funkytron. This wasn't, no, Karina, it wasn't the bagged gas as you saw. Don't put your gas in. Yeah, whoosh. Hey, Zippy. Yeah, don't put gas into unapproved containers, boys and girls. That's the lesson of the day, apparently. Apparently people need to know that. And again, if you're going to be, thank you for the follow, Mind Over Matter. If you're going to be sitting in a contained area with a whole bunch of gas containers that may or may not be secured properly, and there may be fumes, don't spark up a joint or a cigarette, or a crack pipe, or whatever, or cook your heroin spoon. Basically, Ignition sources should probably be avoided in that interim time frame. Yeah, because apparently we need to talk about that now in this country. The word is stoichiometry or stoichiometrics. This is the field of study for understanding combustible vapor and the oxygen and vapor saturation rates that are necessary to for combustibility to occur. Yes, apparently we need to go down this route in America now because people are hoarding gas for no reason. All right. I don't know if you saw this, but he had on saying yeah, I saw the revisionist Marxist Leninist thing, Skeptic. I did. Hey, Halo. I mean, it's pretty fucking easy to Korean. It's easy to get the plastic gas cans too. Even a food safe bucket would probably fucking work, frankly. Exactly, Amorous. Exactly. Thank you for follow, Sunshine. Yeah, just God, we're so fucking stupid sometimes. It was amazing. Yeah. Oh yeah, Caboose. Those things are fucking cheap as hell. I have army jerry cans, like old metal jerry cans, actually. Yeah. Oh, it's always a thing, Alo. It's always a thing. Now we're hoarding gasoline because our fucking gas pipelines got fucking ransomwared. Or at least one of the pipelines did over on the East Coast. So now we have a bunch of idiots in their Hummers blowing themselves up because they literally fill their car with containers of gasoline and then light up cigarettes and shit. America. Take care of yourself as well. Sunshine. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, that's just to track the 50 feet. You premier how you ransomware a fucking oil pipeline? Apparently easier done than said, even. It wasn't that complicated of a job, from what I understand. Oh yeah, Caboose. Like, I've never had a problem with preppers. I have a problem with their, like, weird conspiracy theories and end of the world scenarios that they so revel in. But I mean, we used to just call that being a human being, right? Like, you'd have a root cellar, and like grandma and grandpa had this shit. We had this in Vermont when I was a kid. You have a root cellar, you fill it with food, you can dry, you freeze if you can, you do whatever you do to preserve food for lean times, whether it's the winter or whether it's somebody losing a job or somebody breaking an arm, so you can't, so you can't work the farm as well as you could. Like, this is a thing we always did, and now it's like seen as some, I don't know, aberrant behavior of some sort. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Caboose. You just requires land of your own. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, Karina. I mean, I live in an urban environment, or suburban environment, I should say. And, I mean, I've got the bedroom down the hall and to the left, is my storage room. And that's I've got it blacked out, and I've got it like lowered temperature just ever so slightly, so there's no sunlight in there. It's always a few degrees cooler than the rest of the house, and I've got jarred, canned, dry, bucketed, nitrogen packed, vacuum packed, double thick Mylar. I've got all sorts of stored goods because, yeah, that's how you drive food costs down. That's how you make sure that, oh shit, I didn't go to the store. Fuck it, who cares? It used to be seen as just normal behavior for human beings to do that sort of thing. This federal land is mine now. Good luck on that one. For twos. Oh, yeah, this is the gas. This is just some of the gas stuff. For twos, I know each of those is merely anecdotal evidence, but are the U.S. okay? No, for twos, we're not okay. Oh, fucking A. Land back. Land back. I claim this deserted mountain. It's two. Land back. That's true, Primero. Estrella, for you guys, they're stable for us on the West Coast. Are you Oklahoma, though, Estrella? It shouldn't have jumped up for you. Somebody's just price gouging you. No, Caboose. It's coconut yogurt with brown rice protein powder and raspberry powder in it. So, yeah, that's right. It's $4 a gallon something in California. I don't know what it is where we are right now. I haven't been down to the gas station in a minute. It kind of is. Caboose, that's actually fair. It's a little like I'm just, I threw some brown rice protein powder in it just to boost up the protein macro. But yeah, it adds an element of not that pleasant to it. But yeah, the coconut yogurt is pretty good, and the raspberry powder is really good as well. So, some couple of really good things with a sort of thing is what it is, right? So let's see. It looks like Matt Gates, Gatesgate, is gonna plead guilty. So he's going down for probably some like child trafficking. I don't know, crossing state lines with the intent to something like that. But yeah, we'll see what he actually gets slapped with. Haha, pedo go to jail. Yep. Yeah, looks like the pedo's gonna go to jail. But what he goes to jail for, we'll see. He'll probably cop a deal and get hit with something that isn't even close to what he probably should be hit with. Wouldn't be surprised. Can we have the entirely Catholic Church next? Oh, sweet, innocent summer child. I still remember years and years and years ago when the Catholic Church had a meeting at the Vatican, and they voted on whether to excommunicate any priest caught fucking kids. And they overwhelmingly voted no. You can almost hear the argument at the Vatican, the Holy See. I mean, what are you gonna do, right? Like, I mean, you could just see the priests. Like, what are you gonna do? Occasionally a priest has to fuck a kid, right? Like, that's just, what are you gonna kick everybody who's fucked a kid out? No, like, we can't do that. Like, what do we voted on this shit, right? Like, no. Yeah, fair enough, Estrella. I just not surprised. I'm not surprised, and don't look for that to be fixed anytime soon. I don't know what the fuck. What the fuck are y'all on about on this shit? Right? Like, hold on. Oh, trying to figure something out. Oh my god, Amorous and who is the fuck is this? Delete Brig, please. Are you in a little fucking tiff over Hummers? Jesus Christ. I know a woman who played a Bible audiobook to her child in the womb. That sounds about right. It does. Sounds about right. You know, I've said before, the Christians are some of my favorite people to engage with, frankly. I enjoy using their Bible against them. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, this was fun. Uber used 50 Dutch shell companies to dodge $6 billion in taxes. 50 shell companies. Like, I mean, that's impressive. That's some high-level money laundering and you know, offshoring and finance sheltering. Oh God, is Kai attacking Christians with a Bible? Yes, in fact, I'm using a Bible. I enjoy using biblical arguments against Christians. It's one of my favorite things to do, frankly. It's a very enjoyable thing to weaponize the Bible against Christians. Look, I don't have anything against Christians in general, right? Like, I don't care. I say Christians, like, I'm more than willing to use the Quran against Muslims. I'm more than willing to use the Bhagavad Gita against Hindus. Like, I don't care, right? But there is something about the sort of like rank hypocritical American Christian that I find distasteful, that I take quite a bit of pleasure in engaging with, and then weaponizing the Bible against them. I have fun with that. Did you clean all the Bible thumper cum off that bubble before yeeting it in the general direction of believers? Interesting. Dumbledore, thank you for the follow. Religious books are condescending, to say the least. Depends on the religious book. Depends on the religion. General consensus, though, yes. I don't disagree. But there are some good ones. The Tao Te Ching, everyone knows. My whole community knows I'm a fan of Taoism. But, you know, there are some that aren't as condescending as most of them. But yeah, it's kind of foolish to argue against that point, wouldn't it be? And Artie Milk, welcome. Welcome to a quiet night. It's been a really slow show start. It's really quiet right now. There's very few of us in here, so it's sort of an intimate show. Gather around, grab your weeds or your beers, whatever your chosen intoxicant may be, and you know, have a snack. And if you've got any questions, if you've got anything that you'd like to ask me, or if you've got anything you want to talk about, feel free to bring it up. Sikhs are in that category as well, Caboose. I don't like the aspect of the why, because the guru says, right? Like there is an element of authoritative preaching that happens, but the Sikhs are like super cool and they're not assholes about it. They're not really condescending about it. And so, you know, if anybody was going to lecture me, I'd probably prefer to be a Sikh, because at least they walk the walk, right? They're not just out there fucking proselytizing, which, by the way, they don't proselytize usually. They walk the walk. They're out there fucking feeding and housing and helping and healing and defending. So, yeah, Sikhs are good people usually. Pre-battle, exactly. I could be around Sikhs, but 5 rules is 5 rules too many for me to follow. Chosen intoxicants. Hey, Viva. Chosen intoxicants, reality and sorrows. Taoist philosophy can be sassy. It can. Skeptic saying they were never about reselling. I heard the IDF just passed through the Gaza border. I mean, probably. Netanyahu's trying to put off forming a government, and so he's basically throwing Palestinian babies' bodies at the problem. So it's going to probably continue for a clip here more until after they can Netanyahu can force a new election in Israel. As cynical as this sounds, this really isn't about the Palestinians and the Israelis right now. This is about Netanyahu and parliamentarian procedure and distracting the public. Fucked up, huh? That region's gonna be fucked up for a while. It's you know, it's been a couple minutes. Astray, it's pretty safe to for varying regions. Exactly. Astray, fair enough. You know, again, that problem has been a problem before any of us were alive. This is the truth of the matter. That region has been a clusterfuck. For all intents and purposes, this is the appropriate use of a hyperbolic forever. All right, that region has been fucked forever. It's sad. People are dying. Innocent people are dying. Children are suffering. It's an apartheid state. But that problem is so enormous. It spans millennium. Good luck. There's Viva, it does. This is bigger than just the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. It is. This is bigger than the Israeli state. You know it is. Come on. You're Oh, I don't know. I can't imagine. What were those things where a whole bunch of European Christians decided to wander their way through the Middle East for a little bit? They were on like a sightseeing tour, right? And then some Islamic scholars kind of pushed the border a little west for a ways. They were just spreading some academic philosophy too, right? At the point of a spear. this is so much bigger than the Israeli state. Yeah, sure. The Israeli state is it's a thing. But this goes on for a while. I don't disagree in philosopher. Oh, I kind of like fucking 13 hours ago. Jesus Christ, though. And Rapicides. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that going on there. Yeah, somebody should create somebody should make a parody with an authoritarian leader called Nathan Yahoo. Sightseeing under the helm. Yeah, exactly. It's just, you know, they're having a little bit of a walkabout, you know. The Christians like to do a walkabout in the Middle East, and you know, the Islamic empires like to do a little walkabout in Eastern Europe occasionally. It's just a thing. It's been going on for a minute or two. You might have read about something, you know, you might have seen it in a history book or three. I don't know. Calm stroll with a cross. Lebanon has the most extensive interfaith power-sharing agreement in the world, and even that country is held together with glue and high hopes. I love that description, premarital. Premarital. The fuck was that? Premarital. I love that description, though. Held together with glue and high hopes. Hello, Tony Cruz. So Jewish people. Exactly. Exactly, Estrella. Oh, skeptic. Hamas and the people of Palestine will not be overthrowing the Israeli government. That's a goofy fucking pipe dream. Do you understand how well armed Israel is and who is backing Israel? Right? Like, we just covered this. Literally us and China help Israel. Like, there's no... It's just, you gotta be realistic at the end of the day. Like, I'd be surprised if Palestine exists in 100 years at this rate. No, it just won't. Crowder said the Crusades were oh God, of course he did. Crowder said the Crusades were a defensive war. I only get my history lessons from him. Yeah, that's just not a thing that will happen. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what it would take at this point, Estrella. It may take a divine intervention to get the job done. Viva. Basically. And it's not even the first genocide. It's not even close to the first genocide. That you can save that fucking righteous anger for another day. Do you know how old are you, Viva? 3 decades? You 30 yet? 20 something yet? You know how many decades do you know how many genocides have happened in your lifetime if you're like 2 decades old even? It's not even close to the only one happening. There's multiple genocides happening right now. The problem is too big for any one person to even grasp on a daily basis. Yeah, there's probably what, like a dozen genocides happening right now? The Crusades or defensive wars was actually the position the church and the nobles took it to. Of course, it was their position. Are we sure Crowder isn't a crusader that touched some relic and gained immortality? Oh Lord, premarital, that would be the worst. Yeah, we're literally in the middle of rockets and like bombing campaigns. The whole Nelson Mandela thing came after decades, right? Your timeline is a little bit accelerated, skeptic. It's a little bit hopeful of a timeline. Let's just put it that way. Oh yeah, Alo was one of the people RV gifted to last night, and again, thank you, RV. But yeah, it's region's fucked. It's fucked. All right, so let's see. Gates is gonna Crowder touched Arthur's holy wine cup. I'll make noise too, Viva, but I mean, it just, you know. Right? Like, you feel me? You feel it? You just feel the mood? Like, I don't have any righteous anger in me. Right now, at least. Right at this moment, I'm running on empty for righteous anger. I'll get a refill in a couple of days, but the truth of the matter is, yeah, we covered a lot yesterday. We covered a bunch of shit yesterday. Dude, yesterday was weird with the fourth party shit and third positionism. Like, that was weird. Like, and then yeah, playing Anne Prim Edition GeoGuessr. Yeah, that guy was fucking strange as hell. It's weird. It was a weird way to wrap up. It was a weird way to wrap up the show with that guy. Yeah, Estrella's got it. Just read what Estrella's saying. Estrella feels the vibe. The Celtic anti-civ, yeah, that was the Celtic anti-civ espousing Russian nationalist propaganda. Like Foundations of Geopolitics by Dugin of all things for a Celtic anti-civer to be espousing. Yeah, that was a different one. I'm gonna remember that one for a little bit. That was a whole different position. Hey, Coffee Man Can. Did you guys talk about cyber ninjas? I'm hearing more and more from them. They seem very competent bunch of people. Yes, I too believe you can search for bamboo fiber traces using UV lights. You're fucking incompetent. No, we didn't talk about them much, Ambrose. What was my first genocide? I didn't know what was happening. I think Iraq war, says Infolosopher. What would have been my first genocide that I became aware of? Ooh, maybe a good one. Rwanda. Yeah, I think maybe. Hang on. Yeah, 94. I would have been 12. Yeah, I'm like, Like, I think we would have seen it on the news or something like that. And yeah, that would have been kind of an eye-opening moment for me. That would have been formative. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Skeptic. For sure. Bosnia? Bosnia came later for me, maybe? When was 90 and 94, depending on which one you're dealing with. So yeah, maybe Bosnia, actually. Tony Cruz, though. Fucking same sort of timeline territory, for sure. To further the Crowder is an immortal crusader, let me quote the translated lyrics of Roi Louis, a song about the Eighth Crusade. Thus spoke the Lord of Estienne, I will defend the Christian lands, but I do not go to sow death beyond the sea. The king said our domain extends to the African shores until the furthest deserts. It is out fief and the price of blood. It is our fief. Maybe? Out fief? I don't know. Maybe or. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's like you can only. Do you know how many times I've been angry or ethically and morally perturbed by Israel and Palestine? Honestly, like, I mean, I'm almost 40. Right, this shit's been going on all of our entire lives. It flares up every few years. Not even that sometimes. There's years where it just one after another incident. It never seems to, it's always simmering right underneath the surface. There's always incidents. Every few months, an IDF officer shoots some little girl or boy in the back or something like that when they're running away, and we all have to get outraged about it again. Something about this one just... Tank's empty on this one. Catch me on the next one, guys. Yeah. It's fucked. And it's not going to get any better. Not for a while, at least. So, talk to me next year. No, I don't think I have, Skeptic. I don't think I have. It doesn't sound familiar. No, Estrella, no. I think the cumulative time, 22 or 24 years in the entire history of the United States has the U.S. not been at war. Most of us who are, like, under 1,000 years old, basically, most of us haven't experienced peacetime as Americans. It's just not a thing we do. So, yeah. Yeah, we haven't always been good at war, but we've been waging it since our inception. Yeah. Like I said, I think the number is 22. I think it's been, we have a cumulative time of like 22 years that we weren't at war. Maybe 24. Tony, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I just don't have anything. I don't have anything in me for this one. Oh, and thank you, Infilosopher. Thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, I think it was the video of Islamic pirates specifically. They were catching Islamic pirates belonging to the Islamic Empire were capturing U.S. sailors and taking them as slaves, skeptic. So, we handled that shit. Yeah, we handled it. But yeah. It's, is that? Shores of Tripoli. That's that one. I'm like, I had to do it. I'm like, it's the Barbary Pirates. It's Tripoli. Yeah, I had to do the fucking Marine Corps song. I don't disagree with that at all, skeptic. Yeah, he's super problematic, but he's definitely interesting and academic and a scholar and a strategist that is worthy of, definitely reading and studying and is unto his own. I don't disagree with that. Let's play Street Fighter. I was never a Street Fighter player. I was a Mortal Kombat player. Yeah. Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct. Yeah, those were my two. My name's Kai. You can call me Kai, or you can just call me Proudly Radical if you want. But welcome. It's a slow, quiet night. We're just hanging out. We're just chatting. A little bit of ennui, a little bit of I don't know, inertia has set in to a certain degree. Tekken for the win. Fair enough, Tony. To each their own. Nice, RV. Yeah. Hey. I've spent a couple minutes in Puerto Rico. I quite enjoy it down there. I don't mind that. I've had a few people tell me that they thought the PR on the logo meant Puerto Rico, and they came in because of that. I'm okay with that. Ooh, Killer Instinct's one of the best. Yeah, CRV on that one, Jack. Kai. Kai. Do you consider the happenings of the past 48 in Gaza to be an invasion? Let me check the legal definition really quickly. I want the international legal definition. Yeah. Well, hang on. Disengagement, legal obligations, rhetoric. Okay, so who asked this? Okay, Infilosopher. There seems to be a point of contention as to whether the legal status of Gaza indicates that it's an invasion or not. An invasion has a very specific set of parameters surrounding it as far as international law goes. And Gaza may not necessarily meet the legal requirements or legal standing to classify what Israel is doing as an invasion. Which is fucked, don't get me wrong, but in these sorts of weird, these areas of high academia and political science and international relations and declarations of warfare, like these very formal constructs that we have for internation state relationships, it may not actually meet the legal, it may not meet legal standing to be defined necessarily as an external entity or a separate country entity from Israel. And due to legal obligations and control status obligations that Israel maintains over Gaza, it may not actually technically qualify as an invasion. Now, definitionally speaking, right, like if we take that weird element of international relations and law out of it, yeah, it's an invasion. Of course. But common sense and like street level definitional sets, like the descriptive linguistic sets that we use for definitions, don't apply in those areas. It's a whole other, it's a different game entirely being played on those levels, as it were. So the answer is kind of both. And I there would have to be, hey Tony, there would have to be, literally there are legal standards. There are legal scholars that specialize in international relations and warfare declarations whose opinions I would defer to on this. I know, like, I just consulted Yale Law really quickly as to the legal standing of Gaza. There are other people's opinions I would defer to immediately on this sort of thing, but it isn't as cut and dry as a lot of people probably on Twitter would like it to be. But again, all of that shit we made up. All this shit is just made up. Like, always remember that. Like, these are games human beings play. So, does it fucking matter at the end of the day? No, because the descriptive definitional set of what an invasion means to you and I and the every person sort of situation probably should take precedence, but it's not going to. When we're talking about legal entities and the armies of the world and that sort of thing, our opinion doesn't fucking matter. So, what does matter are those weird legal constructs. Hey, himself. Thank you for the 3 months. Thank you kindly. Alright, I'm just catching up on chat. Give me a sec here. Tony. Tony. Oh, we got two Tonys. We got two Tall Tony and Tony Cruz. All right, so I'm gonna have to separate them out. But Tony Cruz, that was solid. The gay self and the student self. I like it. Fair enough, Estrella. Again, I honestly, I don't give a shit. Right? Like, this is my point. Right? Fucking, oh, it was from Israel with Jordania in the 80s and like, I don't care. This problem predates all of that. This problem isn't with the creation of the state of Israel necessarily. Yes, that is a problem. Yes, it exacerbated a set of problems that existed for a while. Let's just put it that way. Millennia. It's bigger than just one thing. This is the culmination of generations of human infighting. This is geopolitics and socioeconomics writ large. This is bigger than any one generation, and it's bigger than you or I discussing it. Premarital. That is fair. That is true, Cruz. All right, I mean, probably Cave does run a couple Alta That is always a possibility with Cave. Nice. Nice, Cruz. But you had me till coffee. Disgusting. Hey, Cali Ridge. All right. So let's see. I'm tired of being numb to that problem. So I'm just gonna move on from it. Let's see, what do we got? I know this is bespoke to the U.S., but the Chicago police started a secret drone program using untraceable cash from their civil asset forfeiture program. This is the same Chicago PD, by the way, that got caught running an off-the-books secret torture facility for years. Just saying. Exactly, Estrella. Yeah, I don't care about Israel anymore. I'm sorry. I'm done talking about it. Like I said, a couple of days, on a couple of different shows, I just ban all human beings from that area. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. But yes, yeah, Chicago's at it again, fucking doing off-the-books sketchy-ass shit. So I'm sure we'll find out, they were secretly spying or using their drones to... I don't even know necessarily what drones they're using, because, if they're using some DJI shit, then, okay, so they're doing surveillance. But they've got access to, millions and millions and millions of dollars. They're a billion-dollar entity. They could get their hands on some serious drone kit, maybe. Are they weaponized? Do they have drones with weapons platforms on them? Does the Chicago PD have a drone, a Predator drone or something at their disposal? Is it armed? Do they have fucking live munitions for it? These are questions that aren't necessarily answered yet, and I really would like them answered, frankly. And by the way, the only reason we know about this is because of a hacktivist group called Distributed Denial of Secrets, who broke into the Chicago information networks, Chicago PD information networks, and stole a bunch of documents from them and then turned them over to the Chicago Sun-Times. So, again, the only reason we know about it even. If you don't stop completely at a stop sign, they blow your car up. I mean, you should have stopped the car. It can't be the police's fault. Basically, Cruz. Basically, they saw Terminator and RoboCop movies. Were like, yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Yeah, and I mean, NYPD's out there using the Boston Dynamics spot dogs as well. We talked about them on stream one night. I showed part of the user manual, the guides as to how to shut down. There's a button on the back that's actually lit And there's like pinch points that can literally remove a finger if you're not careful within the actuators for the robot. But there is an illuminated button on the back that manually disconnects the power supply from the connection leads, and that's how you like physically shut down the robots. And so yeah, we did a little how-to one night on stream as to, in case you come across one in your neighborhood and you don't know who it belongs to and you want to safely disable the device. That's information that should be out there. Piss on it. Let's see. Took me started on robot dog pics. Dystopian speed run. I think we're like 69% done so far. Yeah, no, Karina, that's just fuck. They're trying to keep it out of violent hands. The NYPD has them already, for fuck's sake. So Boston Dynamics failed then. If they were trying to keep them out of violent hands, they already failed. Train your dog to disarm the robot dog. Yeah, it's a shame Yang has like a bunch of fucking toxic positions and says stupid shit on the regular. That's oh, I'm pleased to hear that, Cruz. Pleased to hear that. Yeah. At least they made the police agree not to arm the fucker. For now, Karina. For now. Give it a beat. Simple geometry. So let's see what else. We talked about the tax avoidance. Talked about that shithole of the problem. Idaho's going to kill 90% of the state's wolves because of shitty policy. Just FYI. That's just... New legislation basically signed into law by their idiot governor will allow professional hunters and trappers to use helicopters, snowmobiles, ATVs, night vision equipment, snares, and other means. Just other means. Sure, that won't be loosely interpreted. To kill 90% of the state's wolves, taking them from an estimated 1,500 to 150 for the entire state. I mean, retired state, federal, tribal, wildlife managers asked him to veto the bill. Basically, livestock cattle ranchers want this to go through, but less than 1% of cattle deaths and a little under 3% of sheep deaths are actually attributable to the wolves in the state. They're just a common scapegoat for the ranchers. So, yay! Let's wipe out more species because we're a shit species. Haven't we already established that doing that to Yellowstone was shit? Yeah, I thought we had Estrella. I mean, after the reintroduction of them to, like, Montana, I could have sworn we figured this shit out. Like, there was a whole host of knock-on effects that went with it that increased, series of, herbivore populations and rodent populations and like the ruminant populations, the rodent populations and like plant species. There's a whole host of cascade knock-on effects. that resulted from reintroducing large predators into like Yellowstone and in Montana. And now, yeah, Idaho's going the opposite direction on this because fucking reasons. Like, I mean, do we even bother anymore? Yeah, I'm familiar with the word call skeptic. Hey, welcome Coda. Thank you for the follow. My hopes were too high to think we'd learn from our mistakes. That is fair, Wither. That is fair. Yeah. Grand old American education. For sure. Oh, and if you happen to have any right-wing gun nuts in who stand Putin during the Trump administration, because I know like that sort of baby boomer father stepfather sort of situation that a lot of us have, maybe grandfather. A bunch of them will like, you know, Putin's the fucking man. I'd love to go hunting with Putin. Those idiots. Putin, since the shooting, the school shooting that they had in Russia, Vladimir Putin has ordered Russia's government to immediately begin work on tightening regulations around gun ownership. So feel free to rub that little bit of dirt in their wounds if you so choose. Definitely a fun talking point if you're sitting around the campfire with some of those people. Do you think knowing I wouldn't, and welcome knowing. Do you think extremely advanced extraterrestrials would want us to see them or any other planet with life on it? I mean, I wouldn't, knowing. I wouldn't. If I were them. Are you shitting me? Like, it's the last thing I'd want us to know. Like, nope, just leave the invisibility matrix up. And, like, don't even look at them. Just kind of, you know, as you go by. Fun local fact that's not depressing. It's now prohibited to teach about race, gender, LGBT, or anything that doesn't fit under American exceptionalism in Oklahoma. Lovely, Estrella. Yeah, I know Oklahoma was doing a whole bunch of that recently. I mean, filming cops and educational mandates and shit like that. Yeah. We would be the hive coming to consume all our resources. Well, I mean, have you ever seen Starship Troopers, Wither? I know you're young. We're on a roll this year. We are. I know you're young, Wither, but have you ever seen Starship Troopers? And if not, go watch it. Proposal. Evacuate all Native Americans and Latins from Oklahoma and then nuke the fleet. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about Jerusalem half the time, premarital. I'm doing my part. Do you want to know more? Yeah. Well, with your newfound knowledge and your opened eyes and enlightenment, it probably would behoove you to go back and watch Starship Troopers. It bills itself as sort of a dumb action movie, dumb like sci-fi action movie. It's actually a critique of very high order. So you may want to go back and watch. There's some very interesting story elements that I think you may find fascinating. Maybe skeptic. The numbers are on your side for that one. Estrella, fair. Caboose's critique of fascism is hysterical. Do what you gotta do with her. You don't know nothing about this conflict. Well, rules of grammar apply. You know something about this conflict. Fair enough. Estrella and I both went for the double negative. It was bait to both of us. Oh. Karina. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I know. That one. You are reading? I mean, I'm reading chat, Viva. Oh, yeah, and I just jumped into on air. So, eyelash. Too many double negatives. Double negative is a negative in Espanol. Yeah, my grasp of Spanish is not good enough to be able, like, I wouldn't know that off the top of my head, RV. Good to know, though. Oh, info. How dare you? How dare you, info? Do we interpret it as a double negative, or do we go postmodern and say we can't know? Oh. Oh, Tack and Viva fucking doing it in chat. It's what I do. Fair enough. I respect it. Let's see. So the NRA, the National Rifle Association, per a federal judge ruling in Dallas on Tuesday, basically said that they can't use bankruptcy to reorganize in Texas. So yeah, they were attempting to use bankruptcy reorganizational laws to escape their fate in New York, and they were gonna try and like flee to Texas, but per a judge ruling, nope. So they may just dissolve and incorporate a new business, but the days of the NRA seem to be numbered, at least legally, brand-wise, or organizationally speaking. Yeah. Hey, love 710. Thank you to follow. I'm not a fan either, Caboose. There's better gun rights organizations if you're gonna go that route. Join the SRA. I mean, if you're over on the right, I mean, maybe Second Amendment Foundation or Gun Owners of America. You've got the Socialist Rifle Association over on the actual left. There's a few others. I know there's a Hispanic Gun Owners Association of some sort, but yeah. Of course, the Los Angeles SRA does stupid ass shit sometimes. The SRA, the Los Angeles division of the SRA, is notorious for some of their poorly informed Twitter takes at this point. But yeah. Yeah, how much you want to bet we'll see a National Riflemen's Association pop up this time next year? Oh, I have, where was the, see if I have that somewhere. Oh, God damn it. There it is. I before E, I before E, except after C, right? Yeah. I before E, except when your foreign neighbor Keith received 8 counterfeit beige sleighs from feisty caffeinated weightlifters. Weird. There's actually over 230 exceptions to the I before E rule that they teach us in school. So, like, there's actually, like, there is a better rule set for it even. I before E, except when C is followed by L, P, T, or V, or when sounded like A as in weight or I as in height, or when a prefix or suffix implies E or I, such as reiterate or atheist. These are the rule sets that actually are the real rule sets. But yeah, English gets a little weird like that sometimes. Oh, please, premarital. You could, dude, as an Argentinian, you just missed an opportunity to blame Britain for something premarital. I'm basically going to have to ask for your citizenship at this point, right? You just blamed America for English being spoken as an Argentinian. I'm just saying you have failed your fellow Argies, and really, you're going to have to surrender your flag. Except it's not the UK and you know it, it's England. England is the reason you speak it. Fucking the UK, like that's even a thing. Fucking, it's just England dragging a bunch of their colonial states around with them. I'm not sparing the Welsh. Sparing the Welsh. Oh, premarital, solid. Whoa, little over the line there, premarital. Little over the line there. Y'all really are going at it. Tack and Viva are not going to let this one die down, it seems like. Karina fucking already whipped out an NRA meme over on the Discord server? Jesus Christ, Karina. What do you mean you're back? How the fuck? You were right there. I saw it in my brain. Nice. Viva, I don't really care. I don't give a shit. Like, I mean, if you want to keep sparring with Tachygen, whatever, Tack. If you want to keep sparring with Tack, by all means, continue to do so. I'm mildly amused that it's still going and that you're even putting up with the abuse. Yeah, hang on, Tony. Let me get you an invite. We used to have a command, but given the circles and the people we engage with in the community, it quickly became a thing that we couldn't really allow. So let's just put it that way. So give me 1 sec here, and I'll jump over and check your whisper here in now. Yeah, now Tony Cruz. Don't you love Discord abuse? Yeah. Oh, it's been that way before you were even, dude. It's been that way for a while, Skeptic. Koba, I'm adequate. How about yourself? Make your Discord spicier. You're welcome, Cruz. There we go. I am diplomatic consultant. I am human. Maybe. Yeah, exactly, Estrella. And I just posted it on the alt-righty meme network. Funny, says Karina. Oh, gee, yeah. Okay? So you're spreading the meme love around, are you, Karina? I am an international rights lawyer in every single country. That's what you sound like, right, Estrella? You sound like kind of like a fucking bastard Alex Jones, right? I'm just spitballing. Yep, confirmed. Estrella knows how to yes and for sure. Is Tack the cousin of that Venezuelan weeb that supposedly worked for the Japanese embassy? Like, premarital, that person vaguely rings a bell, but I don't really remember them. Flying Alex Jones is an already bastard. Fair enough. Helps with the lawyeriness. I mean, a diplomatic consultant to whom? And in what regard? Right? Like, you could be a diplomatic consultant to some, for some third-tier politician in Borneo, right? Or you could be a diplomatic consultant to the Prime Minister of England, right? Or Prime Minister of Britain. Different. There's people that know shit, and then there's people who don't know shit. Israel. You seem fun, Tack. You seem fun. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Alright, I'm bored of being alone. Which one of you fuckers is going to join me? There was that. I think that Wither was talking about that the other day. Wither was bringing up the MDMA assisted therapy for PTSD. We knew that like ages ago, frankly. Like we knew that in the 70s, but nobody wanted to. Like we basically said, yeah, it was sort of mid 70s that we scheduled MDMA, I believe, and its therapeutic use just became illegal. But we were already researching therapeutic use of MDMA quite a while ago. But yeah, 67% of participants who received 3 MDMA-assisted therapy sessions. 3, by the way. Imagine going to 3 therapy sessions. That's it. 67% of participants who received 3 MDMA-assisted therapy sessions no longer qualified for a PTSD diagnosis. Yeah. We can't let people know it has uses. How that's absurd. How else will we demonize it? Well, Wither, to be fair, it's kind of our thing to start with. I just want to verify something. Yeah. German. Yeah. Yeah, just to be fair, Wither, it was synthesized by a Merck chemist, a German Merck chemist, by the name of Anton, in 1912. MDMA has sort of always been white people's stuff. Hey, Joe. When you're awake, Joe, feel free to join me on air. I'm bored. I want company. But yeah, yeah, it's not like white people rediscovered it. It's that white people created it. So yeah. And then, Alexander Shulgin, who is my personal hero, who was a white dude born in Berkeley, sort of really pushed the research forward on MDMA and MDA in the 1960s. So, yeah. MDMA has always been a kind of white people thing. Hello, Karina. Hey, Cracknut.
Heyo.
Yeah. So while white people may have stolen a lot of things and criminalized a lot of things because of brown people participating in them, I can honestly say MDMA was ours to start with, and so it was our own. It was just us shooting our own people in the foot. It was basically the Nixon thing. MDMA got in the hippie roundup for, yeah. It was the same deal as acid and cannabis, and it was beneficial to criminalize anti-war protesters, and they just happened to be experimenting with that compound as well. So throw it on the pile. What about the mushrooms guy that Joe Rogan had on, Dennis McKenna's brother? You know Dennis McKenna, but you don't know Terence's name? How the It's rare that somebody knows Dennis but doesn't know Terence. Usually people know Terence and no one knows Dennis. But
Who's Terence Mckenna?
Terence McKenna is a very famous ethnobotanist and psychonaut who popularized psilocybin mushrooms to a large degree in this country.
Oh yeah.
He is one of my pharmacological heroes of sorts. for sure.
Heck yeah.
He broke like reality. The incidents, the events at the events at La Chorrera. Basically, if you listen to Terence's telling of it, which is, by the way, it's like, I don't know, 12 or 16 hour audiobook, which has sort of like a mildly dramatized effects to it, and he does a reading of the events. It is a fascinating listen. Basically, he and a team went to South America, like before South America was really a thing, right? Like back in the 60s, right? Like this is not like satellite phone. We have the internet and we can research. This is like old school academic exploration territory. And
Terrence?
yeah, oh yeah, Terence. Hey Joe.
Hey,
He basically went down, and there's a whole series of events that you can go through, but the long and short of it is that he found a place. Well, he found a place that was the result of Spanish missionaries. That was on sort of the edge of the jungle. That was by a waterfall. That sort of had this weird. That has this weird kind of like dip to it. That causes a large amount of off spray. And they set up a mission there, and there's a little bit of a sort of a camp, right? And when the elements are right, when all things are aligned, what will happen is psilocybin mushrooms will spring up in the field next to it.
everywhere.
Just as Terence described them, and he was backed up by other people on this. Overnight, what would spring up was plate, like dinner plate sized psilocybin mushrooms, just covering a field.
I want to see that with my own eyes.
And they engaged in experimentation of the highest order. They had access to ayahuasca as well. And so what they did was basically get... Oh, and they had like cannabis, like South American 1960s cannabis. So they basically got as high as all people, right? Like just take all people, and as high as everybody ever has ever gotten combined. They basically did that. And if you listen to how Dennis and Terence tell the story, Dennis is a rigorous scientist unto his own right, with like some hardcore mathematics under his belt. If you listen to their caboose. So basically, Terence and Dennis, according to their account of the matter, established what could only be described as a psychic link with each other. And kind of broke time and space.
Ooh, they really hit it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. And this went on due to MAOI usage, because Terence knows what the fuck he's doing. Or he did know what he's doing. He due to the MAOI usage, monoamine oxidase inhibitor. So basically, psilocybin, psilocin, dimethyltryptamine, these sorts of things are broken down by monoamine oxidase in your bloodstream. And if you inhibit this process, well, you could be...
You're going to stay high.
Yeah, you're going to stay high. Like, you're going to stay high. Like, you're not coming down.
For a long time.
And this went on for 2 weeks.
Oh.
And they sort of...
That doesn't sound like a good trip.
Well, it was to the point.
Sounds like a lifetime.
It was weird. Terence, as Terence told it, in one lecture, I've heard hundreds of hours of him speaking in my lifetime. I have a massive collection of him and Alan Watts both. During one lecture in California in the early 90s, Terence told the audience, as far as he was concerned, what was happening then at that moment was a continued reverberation of the events at La Chorrera. That La Chorrera had never actually ceased to occur. And that everything that was happening was a continuation of it. And so, yeah, he and his brother established this kind of crazy psychic link. And there seemed to be like physiological or perceived environmental effects, a cooling of the environment due to, and Dennis will back this up with crazy math and shit. And like, this is the thing. Together, the McKenna brothers are a dangerous combination because they have enough rigorous academics behind each of them that when they make an argument for this shit, there's not really much you can do to argue against them other than just argue against them.
Or go back to your study and write a reply paper.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it really is a fascinating...
A researched reply paper.
Yeah.
Not just...
Yeah, because Terence will hit you with the pharmacology and the ethnobotanical side of it, and Dennis will come back with this crazy physics and mathematics application of how this is potentially possible. And you're like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't even argue against this. Plus, they have this anecdotal evidence on top of it. If a couple of stoners tell you that they froze time and broke the space-time continuum and established a psychic link with one another, you'd be like, all right, fine. Things get weird on psychedelics. I get it. But it's another thing when two respected academics tell you they did this and then present you with their paper.
Yeah.
They're a fascinating pair to look into. And hey, Gecko. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's sort of the rundown on Terence McKenna and Dennis. And I'm still shocked. Hey, Zealot. Still shocked that you knew Dennis and not...
I had some fellow students in my psychology study in the first semester. They all got together and got super high. Unfortunately, I missed it. I don't remember what they did. I think they did DMT or something, and they all claimed that they all at the same time saw that same light hovering somewhere.
Yep.
But the way they all told it, it sounded more like a shared illusion that somebody like triggered or planted a little bit. I didn't buy it. Maybe I should have.
Oh, from what I understand, it just takes one person who is basically a dungeon master for the high to make it go completely crazy.
Well, but okay, so there's a South American tribe who maintains
I'm always very critical with the stories.
One of the trips that Terence took, he took his what would be his wife, Elizabeth. It's Elizabeth? Yeah, it's Beth. Down with him.
I was talking about first semesters and people like that, not Terence.
Yeah. And he went to this tribe, and this tribe maintains that there's like, and I don't know the word for it, but he always used the term the zubadada, right? Basically the evil eye, for all intents and purposes, but under psychedelic influence, that there is this perceivable energy that is transmitted between human beings, and it varies in intensity. And Terence maintains he said something, and his wife turned around in the middle of this trip and shot him a look that literally knocked him off the chair. And the shaman turned around, laughed, and said, your wife has the power of the zubadaba, right? Like, he was like, oh, she's got it. She knows how to use it. And so, yeah, he's got all these amazing stories from fucking around in in Algeria and in South America. And where was he? I think it was at one of his Algerian trips. He traveled the world for a while, getting high professionally.
Jealous.
Yeah, right. And he told this tale of I think Morocco, actually. I think it was Morocco. Imagine being in Morocco in like 69 or 71, right? And being a young man and just going to get high and study shit. Like this is a level of experience that very few people can even hit these days.
I can imagine it in the early thousands, and not that much scientific experimentation, but I kind of did that too in Morocco. And I got hot hash oil, and I tried to do hash caramel with it, and I had no idea about the dosing, and I used way too much hash oil, way too little sugar, and we were blazed. We couldn't walk anymore. Like, we were just crawling places, shit, in the hostel. It was a bit much.
He was on a roof. In the like edge, it's like in some city side edge, the place he was staying, in
Shoshone, maybe?
It's been too long and the name escapes me. And he's literally staying on this rooftop space in Morocco in like the late 60s, early 70s. And he's got a little bit of acid that he has brought with him to this country, and he's got access to some hash, and he had access to what was it? He got some mushrooms locally. He brought the acid. He got the hash from Morocco as well, and then there was something else he stacked on top of it that's escaping me, and he did the acid and the mushrooms, and he smoked the hash at the peak as near as he could hit it. And he had something else that he took as well. And this was the sort of shit he did, was push the boundaries of psychopharmacology and, entheogenics such as those. And he just, I think that was the time that he said he wanted to see if he could like push it further to see what was, a little out there. And because it was, he was feeling it. Like, it doesn't hit the same way it used to. I kind of wanted to be stronger. And he said he ended up so high that at one point during the trip, he was laying flat on his back and he opened his eyes, and there was a woman in dominatrix gear straddling him, and she peered down and looked into his face and said, "Is this strong enough for you now, bitch?" According to him, if I remember the story correctly, he said, "Yes, ma'am," and closed his eyes. Oh, fucking Terence. He had great stories, and he was, he had a way about him. I really do. If you haven't listened to Terence McKenna, I could probably pull some of the classics and spread them around if anybody's interested. It was a Friday night in the 70s. It sounds like he was looking for an out-of-body experience. He had plenty. Oh, I do see who's back now. Our fucking our Ann Prim edition GeoGuessr. Welcome back, EWH and Western Hegemony. And Western Hegemony is a Celtic of Celtic descent, living in and around the Isles, who ascribes to an Alexander Dugin political theory, known as Fourth Political Theory, that also has ties to third positionalism.
And fascism.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, Fourth Political Theory is like liberal democracy plus fascism plus a little bit of Marxism at the end of the day. So super weird ideology, but I mean, it's a very strange mix. And so I enjoy just welcome. Like, you know, we did it last night. We hashed some stuff out, but you know, hey EWH, welcome back. I put it out there. I'm like, I think it's weird. I think you're a little bit weird, but I think we're all a little bit weird. So welcome. Let's see. Okay, we're still doing this stuff. We're still doing that stuff. Fair enough. There's an acid trip apparition woman inside of us all. My neuropathy's a little rough today, AWH, but you know, I'm fed and I got some decent exercise in today. I mean, not pushed to the degree I would like to push it, but I'm still building that foundation so I can, not end up with like 1,000 injuries if I do push it. Yeah. Hey, Rabbit. It was, yeah, it's a thing. Basically it's a Thursday night. And yeah, they're still going off about like Israel and Judaism and Islam and Hamas and shit in chat. I checked out of that. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm checking out of this one. I've been fairly honest about that this entire stream. I don't have it in me. I've lived through so many fucking iterations of this goddamn fight in my life. I just don't have this one in me. I'm sorry. I don't have any more righteous rage in the tank. I need to refill it. And this is like the 4,000th incident in my lifetime of fucking Hamas versus the IDF, Palestine versus Israel. I just can't with this one. I just don't have it in me. So
that's kind of what I like about this weird group here that hangs out here always, and the students and everything. It's like you got a neolib, you got a tanky. He's not a real tanky, but he's like loves the communist aesthetics and stuff. Bit of a tanky, but he's better educated. And whenever this topic comes up, it's just like parking, get everybody out, parking lot. Just make a parking lot.
Yeah, it's just I can't, like, normally, like, I look, the last time the fucking IDF soldiers shot a fucking dude in the back, I fucking covered it. But I just, something about this one just kind of pushed me over the edge. I think it was the body count, maybe, that I just sort of like mentally checked out. What are we up to? 67 in Gaza, 7 in Israel. That we know of. When you start knocking buildings down with rockets and shit, numbers get a little hazy. Yeah. So, but so that's still going on in chat, Rabbit. Feel free to dip your foot into that one if you want. But so yeah, it's early kind of ish for you, Joe. What are you gonna do with your day?
Well, it's 10:30 a.m. now, and I'm gonna go work, honestly. That deal, it's the last weekend where we helped that lady fix up that house and stuff, and there's lots to do this weekend. Yeah.
What you got left to do?
Well, we recently just reassembled an antique wardrobe. That was fun. Because we had to take apart 3 times, because this one part doesn't go in because and then, good fun. No fucking 200-year-old instruction set from IKEA. Yeah. Carrying a lot of shit. Gotta get rid of a lot of trash. We gotta assemble some more furniture, fix bookshelves to the walls, carry about 15 fucking crates of books and additional crates of... It's a lot of stuff.
Fair enough. And fair enough, Rabbit as well. Rabbit, not a chance, not even touching. Water is not wet if it possessed of the cause of the wetness in others. Like, yeah, nope, not touching it. Fucking who asked Tack? I am at present I am residing in Las Vegas. So that's where I am. As to where I am from, that's a more complicated answer.
From the mountains whence he came.
That is true. And what are we doing with Taoism? Tony Cruz. I'm choosing drugs, golf, vampire women, the fire fans, and Tito's right now. Cruz, I respect that series of decisions. Yeah, sounds about right.
That life sounds much more positive.
Yeah. By the way, has anyone ever looked into what military hardware Israel exports to China?
Oh yeah, we covered that earlier in the fucking stream.
Sure.
Number 2, we went down the list. Like China and Israel are buddies.
I was just interested in specifically what kind of military.
Oh
hardware.
yeah, no, we didn't. And I didn't see anything as like a bill of goods sort of situation. Yeah. Where they actually RV, you mean the immigration protest? Cause that was slick as shit out of Scotland. If that's what you're talking about, yeah, I saw that. That was solid. Apparently because of the UK and like anti-immigration Brexit bullshit, like their expediency and shit and things like that, they were attempting to basically kick somebody out, or they were attempting to gather them so they could kick them out, even though their paperwork, like their appeal had failed, but it's being re-reviewed and that sort of thing. But they were trying to, do a sneaky. The entire community comes out and just surrounds the police in the van and just says, no, you're not leaving. Like you can, sure, you've got the dude in the van, but like the van's not going anywhere. And neither are you now. There's a lot more of us than there are of you. And you are effectively pinned in at this point. So you might as well.
They're UK cops, so they don't have pistols to suddenly pull out of their holsters because they feel threatened for their lives.
That would be fucking stupid. 5 cops surrounded by 100 people pulling pistols, not a good idea. Especially these days.
They're literally, they can be torn from limb, like literally torn limb from limb at that point. It gets super sketchy.
And there's enough crazy people in the first line that don't give 2 shits about their life anymore, so unlikely it would happen. Probably people would run, but
Here's the video.
I wouldn't bet on that. I don't know.
They literally they end up giving the dude a megaphone so he can address the crowd.
That was smart.
Yeah. Like there's just nothing. Like you can't. Yeah. Like they just shut it the fuck down.
Captain, what are we to do? What do you mean, what are we to do? They have literally outnumbered us, sir.
About religious shit. Do you know which religion tends to have the lowest rate of fascists? Well, the Buddhists are out. I mean, okay, because I'm guessing, Australia, you're using a colloquial form of fascist, right? I don't think you're going for actual fascists. Because if that's the case, if you're just going for like authoritarians who are comfortable with violence, then Buddhists are out, Christians are out, Islam is out. I mean, there's some sects of Christianity that probably could get some voices in here, but they're, as an umbrella group, they're going to be out. The Sikhs are in the running for sure. Taoists are probably in the running. I think, the imperial aspect of Japan probably pushes some of the Shintos out as well. I don't...
Baha'i.
Yeah.
Baha'i is a sect of Islam, but very far removed.
Yeah, there's a few out there that definitely... I mean, and then, that's not even going to the subcontinent. Because once you enter India, there's so many... There are religions that don't leave the valley or the village. that they are bespoke to. Right? Like there's so many religions and spiritual beliefs over on the subcontinent that it's difficult
like actual deorganized religions.
It's very difficult to quantify that. There's like 1,000 religions or some shit in India. It's absolutely absurd.
We have like markets with those sometimes, and you can go there, and then there's that holy representative of that tiny religion or sect or whatever.
Rabbit's putting animists in the pile as well. Let's see. Yeah, Rabbit went with Sikhs as well. You mean they aren't a monolith?
They aren't a monolith?
Yeah. Hey, everyone! The mayor of Pyongyang has entered chat. Hey, mayor of Pyongyang. We have a lot of tankies in and around left Twitter and Twitch that I'd like to volunteer to visit your apparently workers' paradise of a nation. They seem like they're big fans of it, and I just want to connect them with their paradise destination and maybe expedite them visiting it. So love to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. And if you could make that happen, that'd be great. We'll take care of it. Thanks.
You had problems at the Foxconn plant, and you might need a few new people. So
yeah,
we might have some.
Apparently the number one export for like the big export for North Korea is statues. Apparently they make they make a lot of statues.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah, I
They got people, they got rocks, and they got fanaticism.
Yeah, their biggest
All the
export.
ingredients you need to hit rocks forever to make it look like.
Yeah, their biggest export is giant statues. That's like a thing that they're known for, and it literally is their like largest export. Senegal paid for like a 49-meter high statue by giving some land to North Koreans who immediately sold it for cash. They make these giant fucking statues for like Dakar.
I don't know why, but
I'm just wondering how many like recreations of Jesus Wants a Hug they had to make and just mass produced them for churches in the USA.
They're not here. No, they literally can't. They can't make them for us. Their big ones are like Angola, Benin, Chad, the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Ethiopia, Togo, Zimbabwe. Noticing a pattern yet?
Reminds me of Asterix and Obelix. Where's the French bastard when you need him?
Who's around? Sounds like
the cat.
Yeah, sounds like the based in Monument Pilled. Sounds like the Midwest largest exports are grain, oil, and limestone. The famous Mansunde overseas projects. Everyone except North Korea. Let's see. Wait.
I guess we kind of have to accept them.
That is kind of a rabbit. That is kind of a brutal, like. The secularism, capitalized, the secularism born into Christianity in the history, period. I remember you, period.
That is, yeah.
Those are words. Yep, 100%.
Is he trying to say that we only have secularism because of Christianity?
I don't know. I've stopped trying to figure that out. Yeah, that's definitely not a thing I'll be doing.
Yeah, but he could only save you and extinguish the fire of your house because I lit it on fire. So I did the good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, makes sense.
Fuck it. We didn't start the fire. No, we started it.
Yep, we got the receipts.
I actually hate that song now off of like post back because it's like, no, I know what your generation went on to fucking do. You are the definition of like fuck around, and my generation is the one who has to find out.
There's so much shit I can't listen to anymore that people are from pop music and whatever that people normally listen to that just fucking weirds me out, but I can't always say something.
Oh, shit.
It's a bit of a problem at parties sometimes.
Oh, okay. No, it was to Estrella. I thought Tack just tagged Rabbit with that one. God, that would have been delicious. It would have been so fucking perfect if fucking Tack tagged Rabbit with the secularism born in Christianity kingdoms. Go study history, brother. One, Estrella isn't your brother. For a number of reasons. Big one though. Really big one. But that would have been perfect to tell fucking Rabbit that. Speaking of cults, don't bother getting a COVID vaccine. The Black Hammers will protect you. Land back.
Land back.
Can a belief system both have a kingdom and be secular? I mean, Lambert. Land back. Hashtag land back. Oh, I know it isn't Tack, but I mean,
On Bach.
how do I say this without like sounding like an egomaniacal jackass? But I mean, kind of my stream. It's kind of my stream, bro. Like, kind of said it in my chat, right? Like, kind of in a way is mine. Lamb chop. Yes, exactly. Hashtag.
I'm here to teach you about hierarchy, not live in a headarchy in my fucking chat.
Yeah, I kind of like Tack though.
I want some lamb back now.
Takajin. I mean, I know I know. I've been on the internet long enough to know when a numeral 1 is being used as a replacement for an I for purposes of getting a username that you couldn't otherwise get. I'm not new, but I kind of like Tack rather than Takajin, as it were. Internet people really doing the most. Premarital. As somebody with a thing for facial hair, the poor beard hygiene of Orthodox Jews is a crime to me. I find the Orthodoxy or the Hasidim fascinating. Terrible, but fascinating. Oftentimes I find in life a lot of the things that are the most fascinating are things that are kind of horrific.
Oh yeah, oh definitely.
Yeah.
Things out of the ordinary.
Yeah, and the Hasidim falls into that camp solidly. Yeah, one of my favorite fun facts about the Hasidim is that they believe men have a right to a wife.
Oh my.
And they go to great lengths to ensure that the men are provided with women. Yeah.
Oh my god, I think I just heard 1,000 MGTOWs get a hard on.
They're
What
just
are MGTOWs?
men going their own way. MGTOW, pronounced MGTOW.
They're so poor at the dating game, they choosingly remove women as their sexual partners, as they feel like they're at a disadvantage, which, you know, in social situations they kind of are, but they're choosing this. It's kind of a consensually, I'm not going to date women, and that's a little respectful in my books. Then there are absolute cuntbags who disrespect women on a daily basis, and then all that respect is shot out the window.
I have a tiny bit of the first category in me.
Well, there's kind of two camps too. There's like the sort of I want to almost call them the OG MGTOWs. There are dudes that like legitimately would be classified as MGTOW, right? There's this sort of pejorative MGTOW, and then there's this sort of actually you're doing it, bro. And there are guys that aren't super toxic towards women. They don't hate women. They just find the entire thing frustrating and alienated due to capitalism and, you know, increasing rates of alienation due to internet and disconnected societies. There's a variety of
That
factors.
sounds very familiar.
Right, there's a variety of factors, but the dudes just sort of choose to do their own thing. They're like, look, I'm not like 15 or 16 anymore. I'm not, the hormones die down a little bit. You get a little clarity and you're like, look, I'm just going to focus on my friends, my career, my life. I'm going to spend
Or just,
all of that money
I'm
that
still-
that I would have otherwise on me. I'm going to enjoy my life and I'm just going to do my own thing. If something happens later on in my life, fine, whatever. And then you have the camp that Karina's talking about that are just basically incels, but under a different header. That's all.
When I
Yeah,
first
I
heard
mean-
about MGTOW, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Just real quick, you can still be like, yeah, I'm not 14 anymore. I'm not gonna play stupid games anymore. You can still like date and engage, but you can say, yeah, I'm not gonna make myself a fool just because I'm horny, and I'm not gonna say shit I don't mean just to, I'm not gonna lie and manipulate my way into your pants and show a side of myself that's not really me, and I'm not gonna do stupid competitions with other horny males and stuff,
No, I it's an option. It's an option.
Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's fun.
And give me 1 sec here, Che. I'm on it. I'm on it. There we go.
Yeah, actually, the first time I heard about MGTOW, I was reading an article about a gay couple that met because they were men who felt like they had no other options, and because of them joining like this MGTOW group, they opened up their eyes to male-on-male companionship and surprisingly enjoyed it and found themselves completely finding romance once again in their lives way after they thought they lost their chances.
Beautiful.
And that's probably the group that Kai's talking about, the ones who either are asexual now and do it for themselves, or they found a new way to replace that need for like companionship in their life, either through platonic or romantic love with other men. And it's actually really positive. Don't know what happened in between there, but those OG guys, I still love them.
There's quite a few of us straights that are kind of like that. Like, I have lots of straight friends, and we have no problem with male companionship or cuddling when shit's rough and stuff, If somebody needs a hug.
Keep in mind, you wouldn't join a MGTOW group if you didn't have those like already kind of misconceptions on what masculinity is. Because you need to find those new understanding.
I see similarities. I'm not saying I am one.
Oh, I was
just
gonna go with hamburgers, Pius, but burritos. I knew it had to be a boo pun, but I was gonna go with hamburgers. Just because I was gonna embrace my like 5-year-old boy. Hey boss, Pius. Is it? No wait. Yeah. Pius Sodomite. Said, what's a ghost's favorite type of Mexican food? Burritos.
Heck yeah. I love myself a ton.
But solid dad joke, Pius, and welcome.
Yeah, I'm in pain.
Yeah, I just I know a couple of dudes like that just basically. One of my best friends in the world, his ex, we saw her coming. He still maintains to this day. He's a fucking schmuck. He still maintains to this day that he's like, dude, we used a condom. She was on birth control. She got 3 kids out of him. I'm sorry, 2 kids out of him.
Oh my god.
And we're like,
Poke.
she saw him coming miles away. And she raked him over the fucking coals legally. Like, he's still paying. Like, his paycheck still gets docked to this day. The first relief check got just redirected immediately to her. Yeah, like
I would
she
never
fucked him.
fucking marry in the United States without a massive, well thought out prenup.
Yeah, and he's basically, she broke him. Like, she broke him, and he's just not interested anymore. He's not,
That's
you know,
so
he's
sad.
not like hateful towards women. He can't expose that portion of himself again. And, you know, there's too much trauma there. There's too much violation of trust. And
Yep.
she
of pain.
oh yeah, and basically he doesn't even get to see his kids. I don't know when the last time he saw his kids, because her fucking custody agreement, she raked him over the coals. She really did.
Yeah.
And
When was this? I'm assuming this was before like 2012.
oh yeah, this is a while ago.
Oh yeah, it was super fucking easy before 2012.
He,
with this shit.
Yeah, this would have been, oh fuck, I mean, it's a while ago. He's got a few years on me. So I think he's about 10 years older than me. So yeah, 9 and change. But yeah, he's there's no fucking way. He can't trust women anymore. She broke him. And so he just removed himself, right? Like that's what he did. He just sort of emotionally and consciously removed himself from that element of the human interaction, the human game that is society.
What age range
What?
is he in? What age range is he in?
He's 47, 48.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he turns 48 this year. No, I didn't do Latin America tack. I've still been meaning to get down to Peru for quite some time. And if I make it to Peru, I'm swinging by Colombia and Argentina anyway, because I got people down there I need to see. Yes, premarital, you're one of them. I'm fucking, if I ever make it to that part of the world, I'm fucking swinging by your place.
You're gonna have some dance lessons.
Yeah. But no. I stick to Central America and the Caribbean. It's usually as far south as I go these days. Something like Belize, you know. But I tend to like the islands. Yeah.
By the way, I found out that if you have depression, you can get your vaccine already right now here. So, although I don't have like some current diagnosis, it would be quite easy to get one, even just for that, even if it's fake, and then I can get my fucking vaccine, and the plane tickets are fucking cheap at the moment.
Nice. Yeah, it's just open season here at this point. You just go to any corner drugstore and you can just get it. So
Nice.
that's, you know,
Yeah, because at the moment, for example, tickets to the States are just $300.
that's not bad.
That's really good.
I wonder. Hang on.
Currently 4-month waiting list for average Canadian citizen right now. We fucked up real bad here.
Fuck outta here. Yeah, us too.
Trudeau
It's ridiculous.
dicked
what's going on.
around when it was getting serious and didn't respond fast enough. And when he had the opportunity to get the American vaccines for cheap, he went against it and is basically trying to get the same vaccine as India. And well, you see how that's going.
Where's your nearest airport, Joe? Like international?
Frankfurt,
Okay.
the international airport. Yeah, Frankfurt.
Yeah.
It's around $300. I checked it like a week ago. Like the cheapest one.
All right.
279.
So knowing that, let's see, San Juan, and let's check some prices. Nice. Oh, we may have to fucking schedule. Oh, boys and girls, we may have to schedule a trip to Puerto Rico here. Just saying.
Nice. How much is it?
After taxes, I'm probably looking at like 210.
$210.
Yeah,
Only?
round trip.
Oh,
That-
only 1,000. Wow,
Oh.
nice. That's
210 for a round trip. Holy shit!
Yeah.
goddamn.
And there's some.
Pretty good.
I guess it's not an American airport you're going to.
Of course it
It's
is.
like, dang. Oh wait,
Puerto
no,
Rico.
wait.
San Juan,
Puerto Rico.
San Juan International Airport in Puerto Rico. It's American.
All right, pardon my ignorance.
What would happen is I would fly out of Las Vegas. You do a stopover in Fort Lauderdale. You change planes there, and then you fly from Fort Lauderdale up down to San Juan. And generally speaking, the return trip is San Juan up to JFK in New York, and then JFK over back to Las Vegas. That's usually the route for this side of the country. So if you're flying from LA or Portland or something like that, you're going to end up in Fort Lauderdale usually, and then you change planes there and you end up in Puerto Rico. And if you're going on to, if you're continuing on to an international destination such as Dominica, then you would take a subsequent airline from San Juan over to Dominica, but you have to book that flight separately.
I've been to the Dominican Republic, I just remembered, when I was a little kid.
Different country. But yeah, it's
Dominica.
yeah, Dominica, Dominica and Dominican Republic, two different places, and one of them.
Oops.
I don't want to shit on the Dominican Republic, but when you put the Dominican Republic next to Dominica, one of these is better. Yes, Dominique. That's my preferred pronunciation of it. Rabbit is the Dominique, but I mean, and nobody knows what the Rabbit. Here's the truth of the matter: nobody knows about that fucking island, and I kind of want to keep it that way. I'm selfish like that, right? Like I don't want Dominique to even.
Valid.
Yeah, just don't mention doesn't exist. Yeah, sure, Dominican Republic.
Yep, Dominican Republic.
Just go there.
Dumb rep.
Yeah.
Just go to the dumb rep.
Yeah, don't fuck up my beautiful island.
Karina is utter smooth brain when it comes to tropical locations. She does not give a shit on how many amenities there are to find. All I care about is find the best place for rare and interesting fauna and wildlife.
Oh well, that's
so that I can bring a
that's
sketch pad.
Dominica. There's only one option for that in the Caribbean. That's Dominica.
Oh heck.
It's not even.
Said it again.
Yeah, it's not even a contest. Like it's literally not a contest. Like there's nobody due to colonialism, sugarcane cropping, and clear cutting in and around in the entirety of the region, and due to the fact that Dominique escaped this fate due to a variety of circumstances, partly just sheer stupidity and ignorance on the part of the Europeans, and part because the Kalinago and the slaves that jumped ship in and around that region that then mated and they intermarried and had children with the Kalinago on that island. Let's just say you had a fight on your hands if you wanted to fuck around in that part of the world as well. So largely it escaped the fate of all of the other islands, and it's got amazing resources. The world's second largest volcanic lake is on their island. They have altitude, they have mountain altitude. It's not flat like the Bahamas and that sort of thing. They've got jungles. They've got, it's a fascinating island. So if that's your thing, yeah, that's the only island you want to go to.
Heck yeah. I heard there are some places in South America that I definitely need to go to. And being a lover of exotic fish, I really want to go to Brazil for river fishing.
Fair enough. Isn't Rabbit, isn't Saba that's Dutch? We were just talking about I was just talking to a Ramsey yesterday about we were comparing notes. I was like, well, which islands do you guys still hold on to? Because in the Caribbean, basically all of the colonial masters are still holding on to their islands. They're like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have anything. Fucking nope.
What are you talking about? We're capitalism. This isn't feudalism. Look up.
Yeah, and Saba's one of the Dutch islands, right? Like it's fucking the Dutch have the Lesser Antilles, so like part of the chain, and Saba is barely like it's a speck of a fucking island, right? Like hang on, let me pull it up because it's honestly. Yep, Caribbean Netherlands. Where is
The Untitled?
All right, so get your sort of footing here. Here's the U.S. up here. Here's South America down here. Right, so this is generally what we refer to as the Caribbean. Here's Cuba, 90 miles off the coast of fucking Miami. Here's the Bahamas that everybody always talks about right over here, right? Here's Turks and Caicos over here. Here's Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. Here's Puerto Rico over here. Yes, we have to we skip over a bunch of stuff to go to Puerto Rico to like get back in the U.S. islands. Here's the U.S. Virgin Islands and British Virgin Islands. Here's the Lesser Antilles. And yeah, here, like, okay, so you can sort of zoom in and you're like, where... Like, what are we talking about here? Saba is this little fucking speck. Right? Like, if you zoom out, it just disappears. And so, yeah, it's a Dutch island.
With Suriname.
And, yeah, it's barely even a thing. Yes, behold, a speck in the windward chain. You know,
I love that the Dutchies are even there.
5.
You have like Oranje Stad, just like Orange City, Orange Town.
Be red 5. Yeah, hey, they have a town. And here's Dominica down here. And yeah, you can see as you pull in, it's just. Here's Trafalgar Falls. Like this is a Caribbean island you're looking at.
Where's Suriname again in relation?
Suriname is on the northeast of
Colonies.
South America. It's over here. Here you go. Here's Suriname.
I met a few Suriname people in the Netherlands. Really, really cool.
Yeah, the Surinamese are they were one of the few that they have a heavy contingent of African population there because the slaves who were trafficked to Suriname revolted and fled into the jungles and waged a successful resistance. So they have a heavy contingent of African like expats or diaspora in Suriname that did not lose their African heritage. It wasn't stripped.
Yeah, and Suriname, the Netherlands these days seem to be chaos.
So yeah, you can sort of see the shelf over here, and this entire area. You can see it's actually pretty shallow in and around a lot of these areas, and you can island hop your way if you're really fucking clever. But here's Trinidad and Tobago, which is right off the fucking coast. Like, people have no idea. They go to Trinidad and Tobago. Venezuela's like right there. You can see it.
If you have like a proper houseboat that can take a little bit of bad weather or something, that would be amazing in that area.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can just island hop your way, and there's people that spend their life doing just that. It's quite a fun thing to do.
You just gotta moor it when the storm comes in or something. Just gotta.
Yeah. Yeah, here
bolt it down, and then
Turks and Caicos, they have some amazing beaches in and around this area. Fucking.
Oh.
And
I want to
then
build a wheat farm there.
then there's let's see. Then there's Belize, which where is there's okay.
Belize is also amazing.
Yeah, no, I need to go north. Sorry.
I met a young medicine student from Belize studying medicine in the Netherlands.
There we go.
Yeah, Kai's showing us all his hideouts.
Yeah, basically, like you fly in here, you take a puddle jumper up a little ways, and so you can hit up here, and then all these, like, there's so many little inlets and great places to stay and little developed areas that fucking.
So where are we building the super commune?
I was gonna say, like, we gotta pick a place eventually, and then it's gonna be an industrious commune as well.
Yeah.
I've got plans.
We're gonna need a forge, very minimum.
A forge, yeah, no worries. I like tools. I like building kilns. When I was a kid, I liked building charcoal kilns, and then later, once I managed to melt a little bit, got it hot enough to melt some stuff. There was lots of clay in the ground, so you could build all that shit.
Honestly, I mean, if you didn't see, this is the thing. I would tell you build in Puerto Rico just for purposes, but the Jones Act needs repealed. If I had to pick a place, and I could ignore like a bunch of stuff, I would pick Vieques. But here's the problem. You can't build on Vieques because we used it as a naval testing facility for many years. And the rates of cancer on the island are sky high. Also, genetic blood diseases are increased there as well. There's a whole host of stuff going on there. But yeah, basically Vieques is, I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Here's Sun Beach, right? This is your fucking definition of like Caribbean paradise, right? Like this is just it. This is what it looks like, folks. And yes, of course, there's fucking wild horses, right? It is perfection on Earth, but it will give you cancer.
Yeah, we have these lots here, empty lots from certain former American military bases. Nobody really wants to build there. The ground is toxic.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we did. We did a bunch of chemical spraying. We did a bunch of DU testing. We did explosive rounds. We did munitions testing. We did all sorts of stuff on Vieques for years. And so, yeah, the cancer rates on Vieques are really high.
All that depleted uranium, lovely.
Yeah, it's there have been numerous professors who have gone down to study this, and they, there have been a few different ways of looking at it, and one guy looked at the flora of the island and did basic testing for a variety of toxins, and basically it was off the charts for most of it. Like, it was, yeah, the entire environment is toxified here.
We'll find a better place.
Yeah, it's a beautiful island, and it's right off the coast from Puerto Rico. So, like, I mean, you can get like shipments of stuff there. They've got like a United States Postal Service office on the island, but like I said, it'll give you cancer. Yeah. So best to be avoided. Fun. Oh, yep. Enjoy. It
was fun. I gotta run.
Enjoy your the last day of your IKEA project.
IKEA. Well, luck, man. I wish it was easy. 3 more days. Bye. Have a good one. Bye, Karina.
You too, man.
Joe is from Germany. That's what I will give you. As to whether Joe wants to put anything further in chat, that's up to Joe. Yeah, and I already know where. I mean, I know where that is. Fucking Sucre. Come on, zoom out, bitch. There we go. Venezuela, Sucre. Like, Sucre is like, right? Like, hang on. I need more contour to work with. Sucre is like over here. This is Sucre. Like, am I? There we go. We can fucking see. Yeah, this up here is Sucre from my understanding. Like this general sort of outcropping. These are, but
I have a bucket list
but
to pet a kiwi bird in real life and draw it.
But no offense, I'm not. There's no. We're not setting up in Venezuela.
No, there's a lot of problems there. I don't feel like we're gonna be welcome.
Yeah, that's
just a hunch.
It's a hard pass on that one. Yeah, if I would love the Puerto Rico is just too expensive, but the fact of the matter is like Arecibo up here has some amazing beaches, and everyone knows Arecibo because the radio telescope. But if you're an aficionado of Caribbean islands, you know Arecibo for a different reason. Beaches, motherfucker. Yeah. I feel you on that one, though. I do have down on Condado. There are a couple of beaches that I'm a big fan of. Over here on Playa Ocean Park, there is a great little. Where is the? There it is. So you could sort of see this like private little community here. And where? Let me try and identify. Okay, so there's that, and that means, yeah, all right, there it is. Bingo. All right, so, it is. Here we go. So right here is where I finished off my last trip. And you can see the way they've kind of dicked around and walled it off over here. And this is a long walk for anybody not in this community. So yeah, this is where Kai spent the sort of end of his last trip at. There are some really nice, and of course I did it when it was hurricane season and the snowbirds weren't there. They had vamoosed. So I had, on a Wednesday, there were 3 people on that beach. Like, all of that beach, there were 3 people on it. It was kind of amazing. So, yeah, like, down in Condado, I know San Juan isn't the favorite, but they have better internet access, and they've got better access to, like, supply lines. So if you're doing some, hey, a hurricane just ravaged this entire area sort of travel, stick to San Juan for that time period. But right now, yeah, the western portion of the island, sort of northwestern portion of the island, has some amazing places on it. No getting around that one. Be rad. Have I played GeoGuessr? No, I don't. We were kind of doing. Oh, look at it, fucking French fucking a German fuck. The hands across the fucking ocean.
Hey, welcome, both of you.
Hey there, folks.
We were playing the Anprim edition of GeoGuessr last night, though.
What's Geo? What's the unprim version?
Oh, well, End Western Hegemony is like an anti-civer, and we were trying to figure out where the fuck they were from, because they espouse an ideology by Alexander Dugin, so we've got Russian influence, but they were talking about being Celtic. And so we're like, wait, yeah, right? Like, we were trying to put it together. We're like, okay, let's play the Anprim edition of GeoGuessr.
Where does this Homo erectus come from?
Yeah.
Right, at least?
Well, Celts were all around Europe, so it's not very much of an indicator.
Tack just asked, do you not get relationship with a Puerto Rican girl? No. That's interesting. I have never successfully had a relationship with a woman while I've been in Puerto Rico. It's really weird. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I probably shouldn't go to those gay clubs, though. Rabbits.
Yeah, no, that's probably scaring them off a little.
Interestingly enough, though, when I do travel in the Caribbean, my caboose, I knew that was coming. When I do travel in the Caribbean, my sexuality sort of gets left at home. I don't take it with me. It isn't a region that is super friendly towards homosexuality. There's varying degrees of acceptance in the region, and there's varying degrees of violent aggression in the region. So I'm comfortable doing that. There's some people that would never make that compromise, and they live your own life, make your own decisions. There are some people that would never make that compromise. They would never do that. They see it as an insult to who they are, and they, how I'm not going to travel or stay in a place where I'm not welcome. Yeah, well, you know what? There's nothing quite like Caribbean beaches and sitting on a fucking beach, with like 78-degree ocean water lapping at your feet with no one in sight and white sandy shores and a sangria in one hand and a fucking joint in the other and tacos or like whole chicken barbacoa roasted. There's very few things in this world that are equivalent to this experience. And if all I have to do is not prance around and talk about sucking dick to achieve that, you know what? Look, I'm not, like, who I am isn't the gay guy, right? Like, my identity doesn't revolve around my sexuality. I can more than happily put that on the side for extended periods of time so I may experience something that I may otherwise not experience, so... Yeah.
You are not a James Charles. You are not going to be lynched on the site.
Yes, and I'm more than comfortable fucking, throwing myself into the closet and doing the, locker room talk with dudes. I don't care. Like, whatever. Just pass me the fucking joint and the sangria and let's, do a moonlit walk on the beach or something. Let's fucking, it's paradise. Fucking paradise.
Have
like
you seen that ludicrous display last night?
Yes, exactly.
I felt, Kai, the fucking duality you just went there. I'm ready to do the locker room talk at any moment. Give me a sangria and a walk on a moonlight stroll into the beaches, though. That's where we're at.
See, that's the thing, is when the gay thing isn't that prevalent in society, the society actually is way more okay with gay behavior within the male areas. Like this is the thing. Like they're way more touchy-feely than you would expect them to be. American men are not touchy-feely, but they're super accepting of gay dudes, right? But
That's a stretch.
Well, yeah. I mean, more so than most places around the world, to be perfectly honest. If we're going by population capital,
no, America's doing pretty good.
We're doing solid on that regard. And
even 70% of conservatives vote they're okay with gay marriage. Like, come on.
It's honestly, the guys are like super touchy-feely, like kiss, depending on where you are, you may get a kiss on the cheek or something. Like, what am I fucking explaining this? I got a Frenchman and a goddamn German. Well, you fuckers know. Like, the traditional masculine cultures have a certain acceptable level of male interaction that isn't seen as homosexual, despite it being super gay.
Yeah, well, in my country, hugging and holding hands with a guy is normal. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even considered like anything else. Just two friends holding hands while walking through the city is totally normal.
Yeah, exactly. Saudi Arabia, where men regularly hold hands and kiss each other on the lips, yet also do the execution thingy. I have a smattering of Spanish that I can survive on just fine, and I'm halfway decent in understanding it when it's like, you know, especially when it's written. Spoken, especially in that part of the world, Spanish gets a little sketchy. Puerto Rico, you're good. You can coast on English and your high school Spanish. But yeah, their accent is so fucking not a Latin American accent. In that part of the world, too much just Afro-Caribbean shit mixed in. It gets weird sometimes. But yeah, I have enough to get me by, to make sure that I can find a place to stay, that I can find a place to shit, and that I can find a place that I can feed myself with. So, you know, and find the beach. Trust me,
So
I know.
you wouldn't go full straight, but you can get by.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Step off, dude. I'm just trying to enjoy the sun. Nice cock, though, by the way.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, so
God.
tack like que camino a la playa. I just want to know where the beach is. Camino. Which direction is the beach? So right, like que camino a la playa. That's right. Like I can figure out where I need to go. That's basically it.
I have a social theory that ironic gayness is actually just a layer beneath closeted, and like all of these memes are just gonna lead to a secondary, just a new wave of bro gays. So like all this nice cock G and shit like that. Like I actually believe these memes are not nearly as ironic as they want to make themselves out to be.
I mean, I've told this before. This is completely politically incorrect. Well, not completely, but this is politically incorrect. It was a joke that dude I used to party with, gay dude. It was his joke. He just asked, "What's the difference between a gay dude and a Hispanic dude?" A 6-pack. That's it. As far as he was concerned, get a few beers into that hyper masculine person, that sort of like toxic masculine culture territory. Just get a few beers in them. They slip right over the edge. In Cuba, you can find prostitution for. Yeah, I mean that's not specific to Cuba. Hashtag ass back. That's not specific to Cuba though. Are they though, Cruz?
I want it legalized in more areas. I'm not actually sure if I'd ever partake in it though. But I'm a heavy advocate for it and very lonely person. But I still don't think I would actually partake in it.
What, prostitution?
At least paying for it.
Yeah, I've never paid for it.
Not sure about the other half, to be honest. I've had weird, desperate dreams about money.
I've never been outright currency level compensated for it either. But I mean, anybody who's dated at some point or another probably has put out for resource gain in some way, shape, or form. So, you know, that's just sort of the way that goes. But yeah, I've never.
Not if your relationship is based off of traditional values, intoxically placed by both partners with ignorance.
Dreamers, never paid for it. I love sex workers. I support them weekly at one point. Well, good on you, Dreamers. I've never paid for it. It's never really been my thing, though. I do feel like I have put out feelers before here in Vegas for like the male rub and tug. Can't find it. There's plenty of female rub and tugs. But I kind of feel like I'm missing out on a quintessential Las Vegas experience. Like
I feel like you need to not look for Korean places. That might be your issue. It's like, hey, find an Italiano massage parlor. Hey.
Kai doesn't pay past 3 of your favorite drinks in an Uber back to his place. Anarchists in the streets, capitalists in the sheets.
It just gotta get paid somehow.
Rabbit never had the angry bottoms about the homophobe things, but has had a homophobe who guilt cried afterwards. That was annoying. Yeah, I've never had that, Rabbit. Sorry. I mean, good on you for putting up with it, I suppose.
Was it at least a good fuck? Or at least, like, obviously you didn't get a relationship out of it if you guilt cried after. So.
Is it a no, I can't marry in white situation?
My wife would kill me.
Who said I put up with it? Fair enough, Rabbit. I'd pay for a guilt cry. Sounds expensive. Dude, it isn't cheap. It isn't fucking cheap. People come here and think that, like, prostitution is inexpensive. It's not cheap. I mean, look, I can't speak to your shitty little, like, your shithole of a market for prostitution. I live in Las Vegas, right? Like, this is where there's a higher tier occurring. And legalization usually adds a layer of capitalism to the interactions. But yeah, last time I heard, one of my buddies went up to one of the, I think he went up to the Bunny Ranch. And he was just going to get like a quick blowy or something. And it was coming to something like $430, $440, something like that.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't cheap. Ain't fucking cheap. Like, a lot of the girls up there don't even put out for like a certain thing, right? Like, if I'm getting paid less than $500, it's not even worth my time. I know Sunshine Thomas, I don't know if she's still active up there. She, you couldn't book an appointment with her for less than $10,000.
What?
Yeah. She wasn't gonna see you naked for less than 10 grand. Yeah.
Social capital at work.
Hmm. Yeah, very much so. It's Lamar Odom. Corey, you know what's up. Cruise, I did sex work, but it was nervous for a bunch of reasons. Like, is this person a cop? Or are they going to kidnap me as a quickie for 100? See, that's the thing. Like, at one of the ranches here, like, it provides safety and security. There are health checks. There is security on site. The girls know they're safe. If a John gets out of fucking hand, there's security systems and electronic systems, and the cops would be there in an instant, and the on-site security. You think, like, old school, like, casino security is bad? Fuck around. Smack one of those women up. See what happens. See what happens. Yeah. That's not going to play out in your favor.
Hey, Jen, citation needed.
Would have had no problem with such levels of expertise and value. Hey, Nefarious. Solid. Hey, Anita. Yeah, and so, yeah, it costs more, but it's a higher quality product. So, I mean, get what you pay for, I suppose, right? And I mean, the girls up there get a level of security and safety. The state's not going to raid them. It doesn't. No, there are no cops. I mean, if there's a cop there who's a John, he's a paying customer, right? It's legal, so they're there to give them money. So yeah, it's an entirely different experience being a sex worker in the state of Nevada. So yeah. Oh wow, that's like a super authoritarian and kind of a fuckhead opinion. Show big booty. Apparently, anybody under the age of 30, or you have to be above 30, so technically 30 on down, is not allowed to speak on or have a political opinion, even if they may have completed their PhD in political science or international relations.
Mm-hmm.
Which can
like
easily
you're
be
just
done.
Annoyed that young people can use the internet and learn what you spend years just barely understanding.
But that's okay. I'm 38, so I'm allowed to have a political opinion by your definition. Wonderful. Now, show big booty. How old are you? We need to verify. We're going to need you to upload a government ID as well to verify your to verify your age, so we don't unnecessarily listen to your opinions.
So the average annual income of an employee of one Nevada brothel working only 1 week per month is at least $100,000. Based on this figure, each legally licensed sex worker would contribute more than $20,000 in federal income taxes per year. Considering that current estimations show over 1 million prostituted women in America, the tax revenue generated by this industry becomes a staggering $20 billion per year.
Yep.
Not that they reduce crime immensely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's honestly, legalize it, regulate it, protect the women who are participating in it. Do your best to eliminate the underground trafficking so you can get rid of the, the trafficked element with regards to it, and shore it up. Yeah, do what Australia did. Do what fucking the Netherlands did. Do what Nevada did. Like, this isn't new. This isn't untested. Like, folks, there's multiple places on, spread across the globe that have done far more harm reductive and enlightened, adopted far more enlightened positions on this matter. Just the truth.
So, also show big booty. If there's a minimum age, there has to be a maximum too. Dementia usually starts around the age of 65, and we also usually agree that no new information is easily taken in by that point. So they couldn't have a true, modern political take on average. So should we cut it off then too?
If you are older than 80, you can hold office, you can vote, fuck you. I'm fine with this.
I'm still, no, wait, hang on.
People who say that bullshit, it's like Trump's 2 years younger
than
Biden.
No, wait, hang on. No, we don't respond to that. Big Booty has not proven that Show Big Booty is above the age of 30. Therefore, their opinion is qualified as potentially irrelevant until otherwise proven.
Correct.
My channel knows how fucking old I am. I have been open about that, and it is consistent from the day I started podcasting into Twitch streaming, right? Like, everybody fucking knows how old Kai is. I'm 38. I'm credentialed and qualified. Big Booty, you have not proven how old you are. Therefore, your opinion does not matter until you prove how old you are. It's just the way it works, my man. Sorry. You don't get to have an opinion on anything in chat until we verify your age.
We need a photo ID and a social security number.
Isn't
name of your mom?
Yeah, we're gonna need a maiden name as well. Just
Name of your first pet.
Yeah. High school.
I would like your mother's maiden name.
High school that you attended. The
childhood friend's last name too.
Yeah, the mascot of the high school that you attended. City you were born in. Yeah.
The
Just
last
normal
4
stuff.
digits of your SIN number. The first 4 digits of your SIN
Cruz.
number.
Yeah, routing numbers, the usual. Exactly, B-Rad. Fucking Cruz, I'm 21, so I'll Thanos myself from politics. Well, see, that's the thing. That's the beauty of it, Tony Cruz. This is show big booty's rule, right? Not yours. All we're asking is that show big booty be self-consistent. That is the very most you can ask from a philosophy or an ideology, is that it be self-consistent, right? It may not align to your bullshit, but does it align to its own bullshit? Well, show big booty, you need to show some ID so you can prove that you're over 30, or else your political opinion is deemed irrelevant until you can prove otherwise. Welcome to self-consistency of ideological sets with Kai. It's a bitch.
To some degree, like politics aside, I've dealt with video game students. Like they want to all indulge with some degree of violence in their stories, in their gameplay. Some one of those even wanted a story in which you're in his own way of mixed blood and have to share the allegiance between two countries, and it's a little iffy. Like those kids, they never talked with a refugee, never spent an hour in jail. What do they know about fucking violence?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's so cool on the TV.
Rabbit, have we considered that show big booty's issue is that they have a tiny booty and that they're self-conscious about it? Yeah, that's the thing. Tack, tell me of business, Kai. We could start one startup. No. I've already done the entrepreneurial startup fucking consultancy thing. Look, my community knows. Like, I've done this. I burned out because of business. No. If anybody wants to employ me in your startup, I'm available for the role of ideas guy. I'm available for like an hour every fourth day. Via conference call. I'll be expecting like a 401k pension, full insurance and benefits, like 30 paid vacation days per year, and stock options. Yeah.
And your work title will be called Leech.
Yep, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
You know what? If that actually was the work title for that, I bet those fucking fake ass positions in companies would have far less members.
Yeah, no, you underestimate the shamelessness of rank capitalists. Leech would become endowed with a sort of a vigor and an authenticity and a sort of a high-mindedness that that would happen within months. You'd be like, wait, when did Leech become a good thing? Leech would become a good thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you just employ a couple of public relations strategists, a couple of marketers, and the next thing you know, Leech is now seen as, a contributor to society and, a donor to charity and all sorts of things. Yeah, they just spin that on its fucking head. No big deal.
But do they have a dude bro idea guys like Kai? This is far above the cut.
Tack is offering like a large amount of cacao out of Venezuela, saying they're the owner of a cacao ranch in Venezuela. Forgive me, I won't be accepting any large packages from South America anytime soon. Not looking to get involved in that part of the federal government's response at all, if I can avoid it. But two, the exchange rate on that would probably be amazing. So what would like a ton of like unprocessed cacao go for these days? Like, what are you selling at? What's your rate? Like,
Yeah, but also this guy must be very busy. He has a, what was he? The diplomatic something
Chocolate.
owner of a cacao ranch.
Chocolate beer ad. Yeah, cocaine. Yeah, cocaine. That's what I'm expecting. But yeah, beer ad. It's chocolate. Food exports are open with priority. Yeah, I don't care about whether they're open or not. I want to know what your going rate is. If I bought a ton of unprocessed bean from you, how much would that cost?
Can we go toe to toe against Nestle?
Right? Like it's gotta be worthwhile, right? Like that's the thing. If you're gonna, and is it fair trade? How are you paying your people? Are they being paid well? What are their like? I deal with ethical and ethical suppliers, so I'm probably going to need to visit your farm and interview some of your employees and these sorts of things before I commit to anything such as that.
That's gonna put you through living hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
First.
I'm gonna make you jump through some hoops. Anita, I love that the troll that came in here sulked away. I thought we'd have some more BS from him. Anita, they tend to be cowards. But let me check. They seem to be they're still listed as still here. Now that could just be Twitch not having updated.
Maybe he fell asleep like me yesterday.
That's fair. Yeah, you processing the beans just adds extra stuff. I just want to know what's a final price. Give me a price. Give me a price. That should be something you have readily available to you. If you are actually farming cacao, then you should know what you're selling for. What's a kilo go for? What's 1,000 kilos go for? How much do you have available? Like if we made this deal, how much could you send me? Do you have a freight company already that you do business with? Right? Like what's the cost? He said,
Like you guys didn't know Kai was an actual entrepreneur. At least once.
Yeah, once upon a time. So, I mean, my supply lines for that sort of thing, though, were always, if it was just China, if I had to have something sent, it would be coming via China Post more often than not. But, yes.
Actually, Kai, do you have a PO box? Like
I do.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So, if you wanted to send me a sample. Sourcing all this to Chocolate Talk has me wanting to make fudge for breakfast.
What is fudge?
Fudge is a confectionery product.
I'm not wiser.
It's
Yeah, God, how would you? Fudge is like an inconsistent thing. Like
this. Hang on. I'll fucking put it on the stream.
Because the only thing that I know fudge is like when people replace the F word with it.
No, this here is fudge, on stream, and
think like a brownie, but it wasn't pastry.
Yeah,
it was just chocolate.
Yeah, it's a chocolate confection. It's okay, so it is technically a sugar candy at the softball stage. So sugar, butter, and milk cooked to 116 degrees Celsius. And so that'll it's sort of between it's between fondant and hard caramel on a spectrum. But it's generally, you can make fudge out of different stuff. You can make like a caramel fudge. You can make like, nuts, fruits, that sort of thing. But in like North America, fudge is generally chocolate. Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not surprising that you don't know it. It is a U.S. creation. Like it is actually a 19th century U.S. creation. So, I'm not surprised that it's not everywhere, that sort of thing. But yeah. Let's see. In Australia, fudge is generally chocolate and THC. Fair enough. Okay, so I could give you an offer of standard, what is this grade B shit? Who the fuck wants grade B anything? Standard cacao beans, B grade, $2,350 US dollars per ton. All right. Just out of curiosity. So just out of sheer curiosity. All right, so you could probably get I mean, that's that isn't a terrible thing. Like if you had a process that you wanted to do, it's actually like not bad. Wait, so chocolate fudge brownies is chocolate fudge plus brownie and not chocolate plus fudge plus brownie. Yes, Jay, the first one. A chocolate fudge brownie is a chocolate fudge brownie. Yes. Yeah, a brownie which has fudge in it. Yeah, is exactly. Did you take Dogecoin? And I just want to refresh the user list here and see if fucking misclick and just hide it again. Oh, you know what? Go over to mod view so I can actually see it. And updated and they are gone. Yep, we chased off Show Big Booty. They aren't
boring.
Yeah, they aren't here anymore.
Shame.
I'm tempted to whisper them. Still waiting on that ID. What a shitheaded position. Like, I couldn't imagine. I've advocated for it. One of my favorite things when that sort of thing happens, that ageist, old person mentality, that, kids shouldn't have a fucking, that sort of thing. I tell people I think like down to the age 12 maybe should have the right to vote. Right? Like
12 is maybe well, if you're old enough to work, you're old enough to vote. That's for sure.
Well, welcome to America, where family businesses can employ a 12-year-old technically. So,
hey, child labor. Yes.
We good?
You have a minimum limitation for
no, we
family
don't.
Work?
We technically
okay.
don't. It can.
Okay, that's what I'm.
Yeah. Technically, you could probably have you could, but I'm comfortable making the argument for down to 12, for voting. But yeah, theoretically, like, you know, if you wanted to base it off working, then
My argument to
good?
that would be I feel like most kids would be very easily influenced to just vote the way their parents want them to vote.
Well, I mean,
It's an
that's
argument
literally
that has been made about women.
yeah, that's
They're gonna vote the way their husband wants or what their priest wants.
There's a big difference between a fully developed adult mind or even a teenage adult.
Yeah, Rabbit
developed mind.
Rabbit said you
I'll
just
give you that.
described Rabbit said you've just described half of adults. So anyway, I just really quickly wanted to go back to this, whoever the fuck this person is, Travis X LeBlanc, who was talking shit about Anita here, calling Anita a sexual deviant with mental illness. I don't know if you're still
Always
here.
classy.
Yeah, super classy. I don't know if you're still here, Travis LeBlanc. I always love an account that was created within the last month too, last 20 days, that sort of thing. Always my
Never
favorite.
sus.
Yeah, always my favorite. You must be boring as shit in bed.
Wait, why are they calling them a deviant? Actually,
I
now
don't.
need to
I
know.
don't. Oh,
What little things set them
because
off?
Anita is trans, probably. Like that's. But, I mean, the truth.
You little.
I mean, I just, you know, you're a sexual deviant. Anytime somebody rolls out like the Western degeneracy or sexual deviancy, I immediately think you're just boring as fuck in bed. Right? Like that's the only thing I can assume about you is that you're not open to anything fun, really. You're just like man, woman, face to face, missionary style, in out, I'm done. Fuck her needs. Right? Like it's
Through the sheet by a hole.
yeah. Like it just sort of.
But didn't the sheet in the hole people have also spectators?
Yeah, be red. That was sexy.
Probably cry afterward too.
What does that say about my life? That I have a fulfilling sex life? That I'm open-minded and I'm willing to get down? Like,
Listen, babe, I know how to tie you up in many ways, and I'd love it if you would learn from me and tie me up the same. Let's make fun.
Adia. Hey, Adia. My favorite thing is to be called decadent. I quite frankly, if I had, I've mentioned this before, but it's not on Twitch, I don't even think. I mentioned this on Podbean ages and ages ago. Somebody wanted to like a community name, and I said I'm never gonna like name people. Like there's always that sort of thing. Like over on Curios, he and Mitre call the listeners and the viewers obscurities, right? The only thing that has ever popped into my head to call my community members are fucking degens. I quite frankly like the idea.
Nice.
Yeah, like I like the idea of like my community just embracing it and just being like, you know, what do you call the people who listen to who watch Proudly Radical? Fucking degens. There's something.
They're anarcho degenerates.
Yeah.
Like somehow this is their political view.
Yeah, like I love it. Like degenerates is legit. I'll take degens. That's the only thing that has ever popped into my head to call you fuckers. We're a bunch of fucking degens, and I love it. I own it. Like what? Anybody who has ever called somebody else a degenerate, the person they're calling a degenerate is always the more interesting person in that exchange, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, someone who calls anyone a degen is a basic normie. You have nothing going on.
B-Rad, you guys are fun, and that comes from a conservative. Thank you kindly. Rad. Aim to please.
That is a high compliment.
We already call ourselves degens within my anarchist friends, right, Gecko? Like it's degenerates are the fun people. Fun is a sin. I'm honored that Kai finds me interesting. Anita, of course I do. Imagine actually having fun in bed. I know, Rabbit, right? But Rabbit, have you considered blanketing yourself in a comforter of shame and then like wrapping a duvet of guilt around that? Right? Like, and then maybe like have a nice air of disgust in the room at the same time. Have you considered that maybe that's the way to go for your sexual proclivities? I mean, it's served the Catholics and the Protestants for centuries and centuries now. Seems to be doing wonders for them. Don't forget to think about your mom. We had to make sodomy illegal for a reason. If being sex positive and inclusionary makes me a degen, then I'm a goddamn deviant, says Caboose. Yep. I you know, that's...
No, he's just a deviant. That's not only why.
Hey, fucking, hey, no comment chick. We're, and Raiders. If you're not already following No Comment Chick, the link will be in chat. Go through No Comment a follow. Hosted with 43, rated with 27. That's the way it always fucking works. You want me to yell at your viewers the way I yell at mine when we raid out? What the fuck? Get this number higher. Yeah, we're just we're making fun. We're poking a little fun at somebody who dared call one of the community members and fellow Twitch people a sexual deviant with mental illness. So we've just leaned into it and embraced it, and fuck them. So, welcome. How was your stream? No comment. No comment chick is apparently ableist and abusive from Daddy Stalin. Oh yeah, that's an account that was created literally 5 minutes ago called Daddy Stalin. Is super trustworthy. Like, these motherfuckers, like, do you understand streamers get, like, basic information on our viewers? All right? Chill stream did some Q&A. Well, I'm glad it was chill. And no comment. If you ever want to join me on the air, if you want to, you know, come on through, the invitation is open. You can do it now. You can do it in the future. It's up to you. Stalin was famously anti-ableism.
Famously anti-ableism, famously anti-doctor, and then his own anti-doctor and ableism left him a tomato in bed without any good doctors to save his life. Ironic.
No comment if you have... I don't think you're on the Discord server, so let me send you a link first. We gotta get you an invite first. So there you are. Quick whisper sending. Sent. Some Q&A where she revealed herself to be ableist and abusive. Zadia. Yeah. So yeah, we've just been. We had one dude who I kind of miss. We chased him off really quick. We had one motherfucker come in, just jump into voice chat, no comment, and then I'll move you over. Oh yeah, sure, Chad. We had one dude who I sincerely wish that dude had stuck around, who fucking, right, the very first thing he said, he just goes, if you're if you're not above 30, you're not allowed to have an opinion on politics. So we attempted to card him.
You know, he made that bad guess on your age, and that's why he was so confident.
He thought I was
that fucking
26 or so. Yeah, somebody, Rage Against the Machine posted a message yesterday, in support of Palestine, and of course, fucking people lit up, fucking telling him to stay out of politics. And it's like, what machine did you
Rage
think?
against the machine. Stay out of
fucking machine?
politics.
Like, do you think they were angry at the washing machine, the dishwasher, or just your mom, screaming
It
at
was a
you because
toaster.
your music's too loud? Is that the deal? Is it what? That's the machine.
But you know what? We know how to respond to this. They taught us how. Fuck you, don't tell me what to do. Fuck you, don't.
Yeah,
don't
and
do
I
what you
mean,
tell me.
and I mean, they have infamously like Black Spartacus and Arm the Homeless, and I mean, like, they're infamously political.
And that's super odd because, there's a lot of, MAGA type Blue Lives Matter people who will proudly support Rage Against the Machine, but ignore the fact that some of those who wear badges are the one who burn crosses, and they woefully oblivious of this line, apparently.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, that's fucking.
That's the.
I don't
I don't know
Honestly,
who
I think it's a
told
self-protection
Tom Morello
thing.
that. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I said I don't know who was it who told Tom Morello that because of his takes he will not buy his next album or the album of the band. They didn't make music since the 90s.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tom Morello is responsible for my favorite Twitter interaction of all time. Some dude Tom said something, and some dude fucking took him to task, saying, "Oh, another Hollywood elite who thinks that they're allowed to have an opinion on politics." And Tom just fucking punched back, saying, "Look, you don't have to have graduated with honors from Harvard University with a degree in political science to have a valid opinion on politics. But I did graduate from Harvard University with a degree with an honors degree in political science. So." Like,
I think the line was to recognize the violence of the Trump administration or something of that effect.
Yeah, Anita, I am. There is a proudly radical Twitter account that just retweets stuff. Kat is responsible for the Proudly Radical. At Kai's Things, Kais Things, will get you like my Twitter account, but to be honest, I don't really tweet much. The only thing that happens on that Twitter account these days is that the notification for the show going live goes out over that, as well as Discord and Twitch. So yeah. Dude, thank God I didn't get raised by a coward pussy, unironically blast Fortunate Son over the radio. Yeah, I know, Estrella. I got the joke. Estrella. Since I only spelled Kais, KAISFHINIXGCHS. Yeah, that's how you spell things. It's probably because they're afraid of getting canceled. They do all those songs to appease the woke police. Yes, that's exactly how that works. And yeah, Legacy of Boom, Rage Against the Machine, a famously apolitical band. Yep. Yeah, I adore that sort of thing. It's just like, you do. I mean, what machine did you think they were talking about? Is really my question. Like, and if you did listen to them, did you never understand any of their lyrics? Like, did you just not? You just like, wow, this is a fucking great guitar riff, and those fucking drums are amazing. I
think modern conservatives thinks the Liberal Party is the machine and the leader of most social campaigns.
Yeah. Tony, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Lovely to meet you as well.
And I just look at the church and go, no, you are very wrong.
Yeah, Anita, my only exposure to Twitter is through other people, right? Reddit. I am a Redditor. Caboose. Holy shit, it's 3 a.m. Yes, Caboose, it's 3 a.m.
Holy shit.
Later, Caboose. Is that you heading out to Karina?
No.
Okay. Karina's a stronger person than you, Caboose. That's Karina can hang. Just saying. Reddit isn't real. So my only exposure to Twitter is through like Reddit reposts and then the Discord server, other people sending me stuff. I don't browse Twitter. It's a cesspool. Twitter, like browse Twitter for 3 seconds and you're immediately like, no, yeah, I get it. We probably shouldn't exist as a species. Like, let's just bring about the end. This is...
Browse Twitter if you want to support single I'm my own boss sex workers. They're all there.
Buy tack. Take care of yourself. Thanks for stopping by and stay safe down there in Venezuela. Estrella, I have more questions that will not get answered, but you're leaving. Have a good one.
Send some cocoa, pack that fudge, and send it there.
Crack, I've always had trouble understanding lyrics. I mean, that's why we look them up. But yeah, fair enough, Adia. Yeah, they call it doom scrolling for a reason. I just don't do my doom scrolling on Twitter.
Oh God, honestly, it's not even fun doom scrolling where you're going to be properly educated. It's almost always just people's reactions and crying. Like, don't use Twitter for news at all.
It's Twitter, home of a section of Black Hammer's best hits, says Trey.
Land back.
Go to Twitter for memes. Political memes included. There you go.
Twitter is good for only porn and memes. And again, I have Reddit, so I don't need it for that.
Also good for both of those. A little less on the porn, actually. I'd say Twitter's beating it a bit there.
Oh no, it's curated on Reddit. That's the thing it's curated, like upvotes and by genre and subreddit. Like I can build a profile that really works.
That's fair.
Yeah. And rabbit, hashtag lamb chop for sure. Hashtag lampax. Yeah. Fucking
lamprey.
Hashtag Glansack. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go and pretend I'm a productive member of society. Y'all take care.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good rest of your night.
Good luck with your fraudulent enterprise.
Yeah. Have fun, everyone.
Everyone's favorite French bastard, Lord Fortus. Have a good one, Fortus.
I wish. Yeah.
I've been pretty nice on Twitter lately, but I usually fuck with people's boss. Not a good degen. What is? Oh, there. Did Daddy Stalin not stick around? Nope. After their ableist and abusive comment for no comment chick, Daddy Stalin left. That's a shame.
Hit and run troll, lazy.
That's the trolls tonight have been really lazy. That is actually accurate.
Sounds like yesterday was more fun.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, fucking EWH and Western Hegemony was, I mean, not, as near as we can tell, they're not trolling. They're just confused as far as I'm concerned. I mean, a Celt that espouses Dugan philosophies is just, I don't even know what to make of that still. But, I mean, they seem honest in that regard, right? Like they seem to not be trolling. Yeah. It probably infrared rage stands mad at no comment check. Is infrared fucking... Honestly, I gotta tell you, I'm one of the few places he doesn't fuck with. Like, ever since he fucking came in here, because I forget who it was that was trolling him and saying, like, I could, like, kick his ass and shit like that. And he came in here, you know, all puff chest and shit like that. And I was like, dude, I don't control my people. I'm a fucking anarchist, right? Like, people are have individual autonomy, contrary to what you believe, you fucking psychopath. But, I mean, there's nothing I can do, you know, about that. And so, like, leave. Haven't seen hide nor hair of him ever since. I haven't heard a word from him. But yeah, he came into chat and immediately left. Basically, it's like, dude, I'm not gonna tell my community members what they can and can't do. Like, take it up with your own, like, mod team and that sort of thing. Like,
You got to listen at least to the Cope song.
I didn't understand you over the accent in Discord, to be perfectly honest.
Sorry, I said, did you get to listen to the Cope song?
Oh, I don't know if we played it or not. I think somebody may have queued it. I don't remember, though. I don't remember if somebody played it for him or not. Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, he left pretty quickly. Yeah.
I don't think he's actually ready to deal with an educated person. He knows how to deal with, like, debate bros more.
He's not that uneducated, but he is...
He's fucking failing his first year of law school.
Well, yeah.
Fucking, I love punch. I'm sorry. Yeah, sure, punching down, whatever. I love that. It's a low blow, but I love it every time. Fucking, this motherfucker. Like, I'm sorry. He's flunking out of his first year of law school already. Oh, there it is.
People who don't know what a song is.
Gives me a minute and 20. I'm gonna walk around. Be right back.
Mute on our end, isn't it?
Huh? No, not on our end. I think it's only on Twitch. He didn't put it on this, but seems like he cannot even listen to it himself anymore.
No, I don't blame him. It's a great. Oh, I'm hearing it a little. It's only when his mic is picked up.
We didn't get to enjoy it.
Oh, 100%. That's what's gonna happen. All right, cool. Fucking coping. Yeah, and Strea's thinking that we did play it. So maybe he got to hear it. Curly Non, thank you for asking. The truth is never a low blow. Fair rabbit. It's not 100%. It's kicking around like 80%. But honestly, I mean, again, I do not give out medical advice. Take nothing I'm saying as medical advice. Do not do what Kai is doing. Consult a medical doctor. Clause is done. Dude, BPC 157 plus TB500 injections on top of TRT cycles. I gotta tell you, they fucking work. Dude, seriously.
So is that localized drug that athletes use to heal injuries in very specific spots you were teaching us about like 2 weeks back?
BPC 157, yes. Body protecting compound 157. It's a pentadecapeptide chain, which is just a string of 15 amino acids in this very specific order, that causes a cascade of healing functions within the body. And yeah, that's the site-specific one. And then the TB500 is also a sub-Q injection, but it's more systemic. And yeah, you do those 2 a week. Yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Someone threw a brick off an overpass. I lost 20% use of my left arm, says Curly. Holy fuck. Also,
Oh my God.
fuck people that throw shit off overpasses. Just FYI. Just is a thing.
The biggest garbage pieces of human out there.
No, there's worse than that. But yeah,
I remember some kids in my high school decided throwing pumpkins off of the overpass would be a good idea.
It could be worse.
Except
could
for
be frozen.
it wasn't late October, and these things were still pretty tough as hell. It went right through a windshield and ended up paralyzing a semi-driver.
Yep, that sounds about right. I just, yeah. That's rough, Curly. I don't have anything in my arsenal for that kind of damage. I can't help you with that. That's for real damage. But yeah, I mean, I was talking to my mom about it. I was like, I told her, I said, it's in that category of in that territory of I don't really believe that it even worked because it worked so well. It's in that sort of territory. It's well, clearly it wasn't as bad.
Actually that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, and I healed on my own, and that sort of thing. Despite all I know about it, despite all of the anecdotal stories I've heard from other people about the compounds and about the regimen, and then I do it myself, and I'm like, well, clearly I'm deluded or something. But I gotta tell you, it's an impressive. It's kind of fucking fascinating. And I understand why bodybuilders and the like have been using this shit for as long as they have, and trying to keep it quiet and away from the doping agencies and stuff like that, because it seems to be super effective. Estrella, BPC. Man. There you go. And again, don't do what I'm doing. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. But yeah. Seem to have worked. Again, I'm not back to 100%, but I'm rehabbing the shoulder. I'm doing, doing some exercises. And yeah, so it's still, there's still some twinges. There's still some uncomfortability in there, but it's such that I've been able to exercise it. I've been able to use it. I've been able to do overhead work, right? That's not a thing that I could have done 2 weeks ago, at all. So yeah, it's definitely a fascinating sort of thing to engage in. Let's see. Your war with Pretzel is over.
And not to be too negative, you're already past the point of where you could expect youthful, speedy recoveries. But this drug is basically replicating that youth growth hormone, pretty much, right?
Not the growth hormone, but definitely the sort of protein synthesis and regenerative cycles, and a lot of the very strange compounds that get generated in an area for that sort of thing. Yeah, I will be playing around with the growth hormone cycle here come next week as well, and we'll see what that looks like. I do know that one of the side effects of ibutamorin MK677 is you can tell that it's when it's effective because your hair starts growing faster. your body.
Hey.
Oh yeah, your beard, your hair, like everything starts growing faster as a result of it. Your fingernails even. And so yeah,
But even
My
faster
first
growing
thought
hair.
was your BF would have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Fatus.
that wasn't
Sorry,
for
now
Toos,
just
that was
Viva.
Viva.
Oh,
I'm
good.
sorry. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
So yeah, it will be an interesting thing. You throw some testosterone, some MK677, some BPC157, and some TB500 into the mix. You have a cocktail. Yeah. I know somebody who has staph in their knee and now has a ton of scar tissue and pain, so I'll probably recommend it to them. I don't know what it can do about the scar tissue, to be perfectly honest. Also, I will tell you from experience now, knee injections, because I'm going to try and do a week of knee injections with the BPC because I got 4 weeks supply. I'm going to try and do some knee injections, but I did one, and I got to tell you, I was shocked how much the sub-Q injections around the knee hurt. It is staggering, like how uncomfortable that is. I was quite caught off guard by how uncomfortable a sub-Q injection around that area is.
Have you ever had like a bone tissue sample from around there?
No, I've never had to do a bone biopsy of the bone anywhere in my body.
I was just wondering if it felt anything akin to that.
No, couldn't tell you. Stray, I think it's the inflammation now that's the problem.
Itch.
I'm sure they've tried cortisone to knock down the inflammation, Estrella, but I mean that's also a possibility. But yeah, I honestly, I wish I could trust like some of these bodybuilder and gym rats do to source it out of China. Because, I mean, some of them really do. And I know there's a European group, like, on Reddit that pays, like, you pay an entrance fee to get into the group, and they group test product out of China so they can all have a collective, like, assurance that, yes, it is what it is. No, it isn't contaminated. I wish I could get in on something like that, because this shit, if you source it in the U.S., it's stupid expensive. It really is. 4 weeks worth of TB500 and BPC is basically $450. So a month's run of this stuff, which is basically what you need for a healing cycle, is just short of $500. It ain't cheap. And no, your insurance will not be covering the cost of research chemicals anytime soon. So, yeah.
Mine might.
I would be epically surprised if it did. But I would be fascinated if it did as well. So,
In Germany, actually, you just need to be very good at making a point for yourself. Like making a point in why it might be better to spend 1,000 euro instead of spending later like 20.
All right. Well, I mean, feel free to try and figure out if you can you can do that. But yeah, I honestly, it's been weird. I'm super interested to see how the MK677 takes. From what I understand, the word that is used most often with MK677 dosing is ravenous in regards to appetite. Basically, it turns a whole bunch of stuff on, and your body immediately just starts demanding fuel. Like, all right, we can do this, but I need a shit ton of energy to make this happen and raw materials. So give me protein, give me carbohydrates. And yeah, people describe a ravenous appetite with the ibutamorin. So that should be interesting. Liberty for Ireland. I'm for it. Galoo. I'm for it. Ireland.
Here.
Yeah, I'm down. Boss, I'm not a psychologist. Do not answer questions. I ask you on Twitter under any circumstances, but also not a doctor. Nice. Now, let me just make sure. Okay, cool. All right. Just gonna kick it off. I don't give people warnings anymore. Because too many fucking people leave. So it's been a run. I think we're coming up on 4 hours. And for a night show, that's a solid one.
I would have needed 1 more minute for a sub.
Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna raid over to Public Loser. Yeah, exactly, premarital. Fucking 48 out of 59. Not bad. Not too many scum tonight. We're gonna raid over to Public Loser. I like Public. They're good people. They let me complain when I'm in pain. But Viva, let's see. Let's do this in order. It was fuck it, I don't remember anymore. Karina, Viva, Fertus, Joe, thanks for hanging out. Everyone else, thanks for stopping by. And Bad Movie Friday tomorrow, but also I'm calling an audible on what we're watching. I'm going to insert something that I think is trash tier. So yeah, something that isn't already on the list. If you have been coming to Bad Movie Fridays and you kind of know what's coming up, well, I'm throwing something else.